Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the, just the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back.
Do it.
That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there.
Sure,
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
This is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sound experiment. We're looking to find the perfect way to hear Reese's so you'll buy more of them. Here we go. Reese's, 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 Reese's. Hey, get out of here, you little stinker. Reese's.
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 Peanut Butter Cups. That breathy one sounded very creepy, am I right?
This week, we take a peek at the snowy town of Burke, Vermont, where a beloved member of the community was taken by the least likely people. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay is right. You got it on the bullseye again, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us this week. We are excited. We're going to have a great time with some bad subject matter, as usual, as we always do. Thank you, first of all, for iTunes reviews, everybody, this week. They were huge. You guys are killing it on the iTunes reviews.
You really are.
We really can't thank you guys enough for that.
We're going to end up doing an episode on you guys killing it.
That's the thing. You guys killing iTunes reviews. I don't know what town we'd put that in, but we could figure it out. Honestly, guys, we've said it before, and we'll say it again because we have to. But that's the lifeblood of a podcast, or those iTunes reviews. They really help a lot for some reason. I don't know why iTunes does it. This isn't our doing.
Right.
We're not the ones. We have no idea. But this is what iTunes does.
I just tell you, click play.
That's all. That'd be great. We'd be thrilled with that. But in order to move up the charts and do all that sort of thing, these reviews apparently count for a lot. So if you have not done it yet, please get on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. You don't have to say much. You can say whatever you want.
Right.
Anything. Tell us what kind of car you have. We'll be like, that's fine. Or you like to ride the bus. That too. That's good. Hey, you know what? That's economy right there.
Subway person. Good for you.
Good for you. Good stuff.
Way to save the environment.
It's not for our ego. No. It honestly isn't. It helps on the business end, and we need it bad. So thank you guys so much for that, and please get on that. And for the people who have been amazing this week, we have a list of producers this week that have been amazing to us. We cannot thank you guys enough for all the Patreon donations. If you'd like to make a donation, you can go to patreon.com/crimeinsports.
There it is.
That's our other podcast, which you should also be listening to.
Please do.
You don't have to like sports. No. Trust us. It's the same thing as Towns. It's not. You don't need an interest in Towns to like this show.
Episode 88 had very little fucking sports.
There's a lot.
Almost none.
Yeah, there's a lot. Honestly, it's and even if you don't know anything about sports, we'll take you through it and make fun of it. So it's not like we're going to make you feel like you're some person that doesn't know anything. It's
I get
fine.
a lot of tweets from people saying, I'm all caught up on Small Town Murder and it's driving me nuts. Well, there's 90 episodes of something else backlogged for you.
Yes, and it's funny stuff. Do that. But yes, you can make a donation right there. And every dime, I'm telling you guys, every dime is so appreciated.
It really is.
We've had people say, God, I don't have any money. I just, I was going to give you guys $1, but that doesn't, I don't think that's going to do anything for you. And
you'd be
first
surprised.
of all, you'd be surprised. First of all, if you need the money, don't give us the money.
Please, no.
But if you want to give $1, we're excited for $1. We really are. We don't care. We're so thankful that you would take the time to give us $1 that it means the world to us. And dollars add up. There's a lot of you guys out there. So thank you guys so much for doing that. If you'd like to make a one-time donation, that's possible too.
It's true.
You can go to PayPal and you can donate using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com.
Crimeinsports.
That's the one. And once again, every dime is more appreciated than you can possibly imagine. So thank you guys, and thank everybody this week. We're going to have a long list of producers this week. And thank you guys also for all of your support on Twitter, for your tweeting at comedy clubs and venues to get us there after our little meltdown last week. Thank you guys for that. There are more live shows in the works. Apparently, we're going to be in Boston in February. Yeah. So details on that next week, and we'll have tickets and places you can get it. I believe the date's February 18th, but we'll save the rest of it. So February 18th, mark your calendars, Boston. We're going to be there, and we have a little special thing that's going to pop up.
It's so awesome.
Little special thing. We can't give you any details right now, but Detroit, look out in February also. There's a little something that we're going to be coming through for.
Watch out.
Yeah, Boston live shows, Crime and Sports, and Small Town Murder.
What? All three of them have a little nickname, the Motor City, Beantown, and the Windy City. All of them were coming too.
You nicknamed people.
I love it.
Sounds good. But that's going to be excellent. We'll do that. We're going to have a lot of fun. Obviously, Chicago, December 14th. Look out. Get your tickets today. You can do that at lh-st.com and look for us there. Both shows, one night. Do it. At this point, we have to do the disclaimer, Jimmy.
It's a bummer, isn't it?
It's a bummer. We have to do it. The reason why it's a bummer is because, honestly, we don't do a disclaimer because the content is so horrific and we're so terrible about it. We do a disclaimer because we don't want to hear anybody complain afterwards. That's literally all it is. People, and it's not complaining about anything, they're not complaining like you guys don't do a good job.
Right.
They're saying there's comedy in this podcast. That's not okay.
You guys made a joke.
You guys made a joke. And that's what this podcast is. It's a comedy podcast. All the research is real. The cases are real. We go out of our way to make sure that all the information is right and everything is correct. But we're going to make jokes. We're stand-up comedians. We're going to make jokes about towns, bumbling police forces, killers, maybe jokes about killers. But I'll tell you one thing we don't do, and that is we don't make jokes at the expense of the victim or of the victim's family. That's our deal. We've said it 100 times.
It's a mantra.
That's our mantra. Not 100 times. We are assholes, but we're not scumbags.
That's true.
So it's not that bad. Come on in. That sounds good. Welcome aboard.
It's
not. We're not making jokes about dead people. It's not how it works. It's just not the way. It's not what the show is. No. So if that sounds good, welcome aboard. If not, I don't know. There's other stuff out there. NPR has a lot of good stuff. I don't know what to tell you, but you're
BBC's around.
That's right. We're not for you, probably. So sayonara. Have a good one.
Fly.
For everybody else, let's head on a trip. Yes. Shall we? Bags packed, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
And, now I am. You're
leaving Utah? We're all packed up?
Well, I forgot my Q-tips in the hotel.
That's okay. Keep your parka. Don't forget your big jacket from Utah because you're going to need it. We're going somewhere snowy again.
Oh, boy.
We're going to Vermont this time, Jimmy. All the way to the northeast.
We've been there once, haven't we?
We have not been to Vermont yet. We've been to New Hampshire.
Okay.
Not Vermont.
Okay.
Not Vermont. Well, this is this will take care of the entire northeast region.
All right.
Rhode Island's down there, but those Maine, New England, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont.
The 13 original colonies.
Yeah, except Rhode Island. We haven't got them.
That one.
And Delaware, too.
Okay.
We're still yet to do Delaware.
All right.
North Carolina also.
Okay.
But that's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Case is planned. We're going to Burke, Vermont.
Okay.
Burke, Vermont. This is a nice little small town.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. We'll talk about it in a second here. It's the northeastern part of the state, way up there toward Canada. It is two counties shy of Canada.
Oh, boy.
It is Canada with less health care. That's all this place is.
I didn't even
basically.
realize they were that far north.
This place. Oh yeah, this is
Canada with less health care.
That's where we're talking about here. If you're living up there, you might as well just cross the border and move to Canada because you're already in Canada. You're getting all the disadvantages of Canada with the cold and everything else.
Right.
At least go where people are nice. I don't know what to tell you. They're nice in Vermont, though.
I'm sure they are.
Vermont's a weird place.
Have
you ever been to Vermont?
Never.
It's a strange place.
I mean,
man.
I've driven through it, but I haven't been into the. I haven't experienced Vermont.
It's super weird because it's mountainous, first of all. So there's all these like kind of ski mountain places and stuff like that. So it's like touristy, but then it's also like super rednecky at the same time.
I could see that.
But then they're different kind of rednecks.
Yeah.
They're like syrup rednecks as opposed to moonshine
They're
rednecks.
sticky.
It's a very sticky environment. It's a very strange. Wasn't Super Troopers the movie based in Vermont?
I think so.
And that's it's just a weird place up there. I don't know how else to describe it, but you're up there, you're going, it's just odd here. It's just, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's beautiful. I mean, you can't describe how beautiful it is. The trees and the mountains.
Everything
and the
up that way is amazing looking.
It's gorgeous. It snows up there. It's picturesque. It's a nice place, and the people are nice, and there's no real big cities in Vermont. This is in Caledonia County.
Okay.
This particular town, zip code 05871. So we're into the zeros there. Back to the base.
Some of the original
Zip codes. Area code 802. It's a big town in terms of mileage.
Yeah.
It's square mileage because it's kind of three areas that they kind of mushed into one,
All right.
basically. It's a 34 square miles.
Oh.
So that's a big, small town.
That's a lot of area.
It's a lot of forest and a lot of things like that.
A lot of shit that's uninhabitable.
A lot of shit and a lot of like bigger properties and things like that. It's not it's not very dense there.
Okay.
This is in Vermont's what they call the Northeast Kingdom.
Oh.
That's the I was like, what the hell is a Northeast Kingdom? But apparently that's the term in Vermont.
Did they think we were going to have a king here? Is that...
It refers to the northeast corner of Vermont, and it's three counties: Essex, Orleans, and Caledonia counties, and that's it. They use NEK as the shortening of that,
Right.
and that's that. That's a Northeast Kingdom.
Great.
Okay, great. The Kingdom. Burke itself, it's an old town.
Yeah.
We were in Utah last week, and it was the town started in 1942.
Yeah.
Here, 1782.
Holy shit.
Let's head it back a little bit further. Yeah, it's one of the northeast town. That's what it is. The first settlers arrived in here in 1792. A guy named Lemuel Walter lived there, and they organized the town in his home in 1796.
Yeah.
So he cleared some land, built a cabin.
Yeah.
And damn it, we're gonna have a damn
was his
town
name?
here. His Lemuel Walker.
Lemuel. That's a shit first name.
That's one of those names where you see it in the 1700s and you go, yeah, I understand why that name just died out at some point. When you think the last Lemuel was?
Right. That's him.
That's him right there. The last surviving of the Lemuels. Here
Last week, though, I corrected you on the pronunciation of that word.
And we were both wrong.
I was you were right, actually.
Really?
I think you were really close because it was a Dutch word, and a Dutch person emailed me and said, "You're an idiot." By the way, I'm like, I know that.
Well, what are you going to do?
In my head, you spelling it I just
sounded
spelled
good.
Llewellyn in my head.
And when you said it and I saw it, I went, yeah, that's right. How did I not see that?
You're goddamn right,
the hell was
Llewellyn.
I thinking? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
And it absolutely was not.
And we were totally wrong.
I forget what it was, but the Dutch person knows.
Yeah, I don't
So
remember.
thanks,
I remember
Mariah.
seeing the pronunciation and going, I'm never going to remember that for the show. Not going to happen. They divided this town, the surveyors at first divided this town into lots of about 160 acres, which is it's big lots.
Yeah.
Because people back then, they needed farm and they
Each
needed...
person got 160 acres.
Those were the lots they were digging at. 160
I mean,
acres.
you could buy one and parcel one out. But,
Exactly, yeah.
But the person that bought it got 160 fucking acres.
160 acres, and a lot of these people they didn't even buy it. They were Revolutionary War soldiers that were given land as payment.
Okay.
Because we've gone through within New Hampshire, if we remember that also, they had a similar thing where Revolutionary War soldiers they were paid in land, basically. The government didn't have money to pay them, so they were like, here, have a bunch of trees, enjoy.
I'm trying to wrap my head around 160 acres, though. Like Christopher Robin had 100-acre woods to go and
Tigger jumping
expand
around
his mind.
Yeah.
Go drop acid or whatever the fuck he did out there.
Mushroom trips out there.
Whatever the hell he did.
He was just scraping spores off of trees, eating them, tripping balls, running around the forest going, no, there's a tiger.
Oh, there's a roo, and it's got a baby, too.
There's a tiger in the forest, I'm telling you.
And it bounces on its fucking tail.
No, he doesn't fucking walk. He's a tiger. He bounces on his tail. What do you think he's doing? Jesus Christ. No, I didn't eat the shit on the side of the tree. What are you talking about? No, I'm fine.
So
totally
Christopher
fine.
Robin had 100 acres to go fucking be a nut and create an amazing story. And these people each get 160
These people
apiece.
are like, eat shit, Christopher Robin.
Yeah, Christopher Robin ain't got shit on this place.
The original town charter granted lands to 65 people, who most of them came from Connecticut. A lot of these people came from Connecticut, and those were different people from the Revolutionary War people. The town's name, Burke, is named after Sir Edmund Burke. Of
course it is.
Who, of course, was a member of British Parliament, he was a member of Parliament who tried to promote making peace with the American colonies to stop the war for independence.
Oh, that was
kind
nice
let
of him.
them be on his thing. So they were so nice. Yeah, they liked him so much, they said, let's name a town after this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a real party guy.
Yeah.
Let's send him some syrup.
He's at least understanding.
Yeah, he gets it. Or he was just lazy. He's like, we're going to go fight them? Really? For that?
That's long way to go to fight
It's just syrup. That's all they got. It's just syrup. I mean, it's practically Canada. Do we need to...
Somebody heard they had 160 acres each, and they were like, we're fighting.
We're coming for it.
We're going to go get them. Burke's like,
you
you guys, that's a long boat trip.
Had nothing to do with the rest of the country. They were just northeastern Vermont is all they were concerned about. So they needed people at that point, because now they started they have the forest there, so they started having lumber for sale, and they had water there, so there were sawmills, and that was the first industry. They started building roads, all that sort of thing. Pretty much the farms, they started having farms there as they started taking all the trees away for lumber. So it was kind of after that, by the late 1800s, it was kind of the sawmill was over, the lumber was over, and it was mainly just farming after that and that sort of thing. Dairy farms became a big deal by the 1940s, that sort of thing. In 1800, they had 108 people. In 1900, they had 1,184 people.
Holy shit!
So it grew a lot. And
what is that? 1,000%?
Yeah, I think that's 1,000%.
I think so.
That's a lot. Yeah, well, don't count on us for math, but it's 1,000%.
It's a large percent.
In 1953, 13 men formed a corporation which started the development of the Burke Mountain ski area.
Okay.
And this place is big for skiing.
Yeah.
This is it's Vermont. It's all skiing. It's all mountains. Every
lots
mountain.
Of hot chocolate.
It's lots of hot chocolate and. Like I said, I think they just drizzle themselves in warm syrup to keep warm.
Sounds like it. God, that sounds lovely.
That's how it worked. That's how it works up here. They started developing vacation homes, and people started coming in from out of town. It kind of changed the town a little bit. People in this town, population hasn't changed too dramatically since 1900. Population right now is 1,722.
Wow.
So it's a small town spread out over 34 miles. So that's not a lot of people. It's up 22.5% since 1990.
Okay.
So there's been a little
bit of a boom.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of a boom, as like we've shown all of these suburbs, all these places that are, within
destinations too.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that sort of thing here. Median age in this town, a little bit older than normal. Median age normally in the country is 37.4. Here we are at 43.5.
Okay.
It's a little bit older. Everybody's a little bit calmer. I'm sensing flannel.
I'm sensing people with money move there after they retire. Early retire though.
That too. Because you have ski people that want it. It's kind of like when we did Tahoe.
Yeah,
it was kind of like
money folks.
Yeah, except it seems less white trash in this town.
Right.
Like Tahoe. Remember we did South Lake Tahoe? It was like rich people in the ski resorts, and then down, in the basin.
The basin
below the mountains was just trailer park, seas of trailer parks after that. So I feel like that's kind of a deal.
It's like
an
example of society. Like you're on top of the mountain when you got money, but when you roll down it and you're down in the basin, you're with the white trash.
In a trailer,
right?
And you're not
knocking
great.
out old women and raping little girls.
Good God, Jesus, that was horrible. It was episode 11. Go back. It's a crazy story.
Horrific.
Two-parter, I think that was for us. Male-female population, few more males than females, which is kind of the exact opposite of what it usually is. Married population is a lot higher than normal. It's normally about 50-50. We're about 61% married here. So, yeah, it's a Norman Rockwell painting, this town, it seems like. Just popping out, snows falling in the window, like less single people, obviously, with more married people, less widowed people, so there's not a lot of elderly, I would imagine, there. More divorced people than normal. So what you're saying is it sounds like there's a lot of people in their 40s and 50s. Right. Is what the thing I would see here is. Race of this town, I'm going to give you a guess what Vermont, what you'd expect the racial breakdown of Vermont to be.
As the driven snow, sir.
Yes. Vermont and Maine are the two whitest states in America. Yeah. Just no black people made it up that far.
Fuck that snow.
It's
That's
snow
awful.
and everything else. So
it's like 8 feet of snow in the winter.
No,
it's a lot.
It's wild up there. White, 96.49% white. That is,
do we even bother with everything else?
That's pretty white. 2% black.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, there's 2%. 0.47% Hispanic.
Wow.
So, yeah, I don't know.
That's just ski resort rental guys?
I don't know who, but there are not a lot of Hispanic people there at all. It is 99.53% non-Hispanic, as the statistics tell us.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's very, very much not Hispanic here. Religion, last week we were at, 78% in Utah? A lot of the LDS here. Northeast, we are at 33.42%. So we're kind of the other end of the scale.
Yeah.
It's usually 50-50. Yeah. Is that same as married in religion.
33% though?
33%. 14% are Catholic, obviously. Yeah. Catholics, the Baptists of the North. 1.26% LDS.
I'll never stop laughing at that.
Because it's great, goddammit. It's probably the smartest thing I've ever said. That's really sad, but I think it might be. It might be the smartest goddamn thing I've ever said in my fucking life.
Father, you guys.
That is super sad. Super sad. Pray for my children.
Yes.
So, speaking of prayer, 1.26% are LDS or Mormon. These fuckers like the snow.
Yeah, they do.
Jesus Christ. Where is it cold?
Where can we blend in? Where's the snow? That's where we'll be.
We can blend in and skiing, I think. We need to ski. So that's what I think it is. The Mormons need to ski.
I really feel like they're just hiding. They're just hiding out in that snow.
That's possible. Yeah, just don't move. They won't see us.
Don't move. They won't see it. Your magic underwear will blend into the fucking snow.
Kids, all of you, don't move. All of you, stay still. So 0.0% Jewish, big shocker there, and 0.0% Muslim.
Sure.
But there is 1% Eastern faith, so I'm assuming that's going to be your Buddhism and things like that. Hindus, I guess, things like that. Maybe there's a couple of Indian people there, possibly. Politically, the voting in this state, or in this town, 60% are Democrats, which is to be expected.
It's
Vermont.
So weird, though, that it's so affluent yet so Democrat.
Well, it's just a different environment. It's I mean, San Francisco's super affluent and the most liberal. It's not. And New York, same thing.
It's just fascinating how that happens.
It's just let's not even get into that. How that? Well, let's break down the socioeconomic, and it's not even
of America and its big cities.
Way out of our scope on this one. We're going to talk about murder in this shitty little town. It's actually not that shitty. It seems nice. But
it seems great already.
It's not that
I'm
bad.
into it.
It's really not that bad here. 37% Republican, about 3% Independent on that. Unemployment rate is right in line with the national average.
Yeah.
They have negative job growth recently, which isn't very good. I don't know.
That's terrible.
Jobs going up to the mountains or whatever. Household income, not bad. It's about $49,000. About 53.5 is the national average. So they're in the range. Not terrible. Jobs here, a lot of sales, a lot of office, a lot of things like that. Also, a lot of construction extraction too, because you're going to have forestry and things like that up there. But, not too, it seems very, very average. All the stats are really in line as far as jobs go and what people are doing. Even cost of living, as we say, 100 is average par. Cost of living, 97 here.
Wow.
So right along line. A little higher, like healthcare is pretty high up there. But they have Vermont has their own form of universal healthcare too. So
do they really?
Yeah, that's probably,
Is that Bernie?
A few of the, well,
is that where he's from?
Yeah, he's from there, but he's a senator. He has no control over state stuff. But they're going to elect someone who has their values, and that's their values is apparently to have more health care, but it's going to cost a little more. Housing, though, is an 80 out of 100, so not too shabby here. When you look at the housing, median home cost is $149,000, which is that's $35,000 less than the average. Not terrible.
And they're mostly old historic ones too, right?
There's some of each because I mean they were built. It kind of boomed a little bit with the.
And was it founded in the 1700s? That's pretty kick-ass. You could probably get a really cool house there.
You can probably get old farmhouses, and then they also built a lot of like vacation houses and stuff like that when they put the skiing in.
Sure,
that sort of thing. Most of the houses are between $150,000 and $300,000.
That's not awful.
You're going to get about 55% of the houses. And if we've convinced you to move to a Norman Rockwell painting, that is Burke,
You've got
Vermont,
me right now.
We have for you the Burke, Vermont Real Estate Report. Okay, there we go. Got that. That feels so official.
It's my favorite part.
It's great.
It really is.
We have a 2-bedroom apartment that I found here. Your average 2-bedroom apartment is going to be $847 a month, which
Terrific.
is $200 less than the national average, which isn't too bad. I found a variety of homes here for us. There's value homes like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 920 square foot, little starter house.
That's a tiny one.
It's a tiny house, $119,000.
Not bad.
Tiny house, smaller price.
I think that's about what I paid for my first house that was about that size.
Not terrible. That's not bad. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,660 square foot house needs a little bit of work on the inside, guys. Going to need a little bit of love, but $175,000 for that is a decent value. So it's going to need love. Now, if you just
flip or flop, babe.
Flip or flop. Now, if you want to move into a place that is just ready to go, all beautiful, set, ready. It's
the mansion,
gorgeous. It's not even a mansion. It's just a really, really nice,
done house,
clean, done house. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,850 square foot house. Beautiful lawn, very nice. $340,000 for that. Not awful. It's in a nice neighborhood, so you and your family can move right in.
It's tough to afford that, but if you can, get it.
It's a good place to go here. Things to do. Let's just say outdoors are a lot here. Hiking in summer, skiing in winter.
Yes.
That is things to do in a nutshell.
Sure.
On their town website here, they're telling you the different seasons, what you're going to do in each different season. And I particularly like spring's description here.
Okay.
In spring, apparently, spring brings melting snow and the aroma of maple in the air. Like we've said, maple syrup. Don't miss the annual Vermont Maple Open House Weekend, which happens late March and is a great chance to tour local sugar houses, learn about the sugaring process, and of course, Jimmy, enjoy some sweet samples.
Of course.
Get your asses up there in spring. God damn it.
Yeah.
And if you are, be careful of the crime, because let's talk about it.
Okay.
Crime is what we're interested in here. Property crime is exactly at national average, like exactly to the T.
Really?
So, it's your average town
Right there.
So you'd expect, violent crime to be in that same ballpark.
Yeah.
Violent crime, though, murder, rape, robbery, assault, is almost 20% higher than the national average.
Gracious.
I don't know what's happening up there in the mountains.
Sugar rush, babe.
These are some angry white mountain people beating the shit out of each other,
and
I think.
Tons of sugar energy.
That's the thing. Maybe that's what it is. Too much sampling of the sugaring process, I think, is the problem for them, and that they get all screwed up and all out of whack, and then they do crazy, crazy shit like these people we're going to talk about right now. Before we get to the murder quick, by the way, some of you might have noticed there we didn't have a motto for that town.
It's my favorite part.
There's no motto. There's no goddamn motto. Town website, nothing.
You got all that maple, all that sugar. You got no motto that mixes that shit into it.
Let's give them a motto.
The sweetest town in America.
The sweetest town in America? No, maybe... we'll take a few Mormons off your hands.
That's good.
Maybe that's a good one.
We could use a Jew or two.
Any Jews? With a picture of a guy shrugging his
Burke,
shoulder.
Vermont. We could use a Jew or two.
Anything? Come on. What are we doing here? We got nothing. Jesus, this is terrible. An Asian too, because we really don't have none of those either.
Something in.
This is getting bad here.
Our stew's too floury. We got way too much
flowery.
white.
It's not working out very well.
No.
These people here. Let's talk about. First of all, we'll talk about Scott Favreau. Okay. Scott Favreau is a kid that grew up. He grew up tough.
Yeah.
Grows up around the Vermont area. Kind of bounces around a little bit. Parents completely not available. Well, father was available, but only to sexually and physically abuse him.
No.
Was biological father when he was young.
Horrific.
So very much a lot of neglect, a lot of abuse, kind of in the hands of the system at an early age, a lot of crime, because he's just left to the devices of this. He's in the wind. He's on the lam, this kid, not of his own doing. He's in the lam. His parents are awful. His mother's just not really available.
Fending for himself growing up too young.
That's exactly what the problem is. And as we see constantly whenever that happens, a lot of times these kids lash out, and especially when they've been physically and sexually abused, they'll lash out with their teenage crimes and thefts and things like that. And then he's no exception. He gets in a lot of trouble with the law and with just being in the system. He's in the system so much he's bounced around to a few different kind of foster homes,
like group homes and such.
Group homes, foster homes. People are taking him in. I don't know what the system is like up there, but he seems to go to families, like they'll take him in the foster system. I assume if you're in Vermont and it's smaller, it's a little more easily manageable.
Yeah.
You can probably do a little better with the foster care system. You know, if you're in a city with 7 million people, there's a shitload of kids that need homes, and it's going to be it's just the red tape and the bureaucracy of the whole thing would be crippling. You know,
it's like at a comedy show when you've got all these people there. It's hard to really lose because you're not really bombing per person.
There's so many.
When there's so few, you can almost tell a joke to each goddamn person.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you go wrong, then you're hated indivially by each fucking person.
Then you have to hide as they leave the showroom. At that point, you have to
But with this, you can focus on each child and really give them the best care possible.
That's true, and they do. They get him in a foster home. He ends up in a foster home with a family.
Yeah.
Now the very nice family here. There's a woman named Vicky Campbell Beer. Beer is in the drink,
like a beer.
Yeah.
BEER.
BEER. Vicky.
Okay.
Campbell Beer.
Okay.
Her husband is Randy Beer.
Okay.
So she hyphenated to Vicky Campbell Beer. In the home, living with them is Scott comes to live. Scott Favreau comes to live with them, and they have a daughter also, a teenage daughter at that point. And I've heard this said a few different. It's Tashia. I've heard it.
Tasha or Tashia?
I've heard it said both ways.
Yeah.
So let's just call her Tashia for now.
Can we just go Tasha?
Want to go Tasha? Want to go simple?
It's fucking easier.
All right, let's go Tasha.
I'm sorry, Miss Tashia, if this offends you, if you're listening, but we're calling you Tasha.
Yeah, you won't care if you offend her. Trust me.
Okay.
So you won't care if you offend her with a name.
Tasha, you're getting
on.
Tasha.
So Tasha, she was 13, 14 when he comes around,
Sure.
and he's about 17 at the time.
Okay.
Right away, that's an odd dynamic. I don't want some. It's a wonderful thing. If you take foster kids into your home, it's a wonderful thing.
You're a hero.
You're a saint.
You're doing what most people do not want nor have the energy to do.
And a lot of times it's with somebody who's with a kid who's already been damaged, and you're going to try to fix that damage and all that. Wow, hats off to you, honestly.
Fucking incredible.
That's amazing. But if I have a 14-year-old daughter, I don't know if I'm letting some 17-year-old nudnik in my house.
It's never happening.
Like that's going to be.
I don't even want her dating him when she's 17.
That's
you know
the
what
thing.
I mean?
Yeah, and he lives somewhere else.
Right.
But in the house, that seems a little
I want him coming
excessive.
over for dinner once a month.
That seems like a lot. So Vicky Campbell Beer, she is a 7th grade teacher at Linden Town School.
Okay.
And she's beloved. She's like the teacher everybody loves. She's that teacher that everybody likes, and all the kids love her and the parents love her, and she's that one. So, I mean, every school has that kind of a teacher
the
like
one that
that.
everybody likes.
Everybody likes, and everybody, she had time for everybody. She was that type of person. I mean, she's so nice. She's letting 17-year-old kids
it's ridiculous. She's
horrible
taking kids
backgrounds
with
in her house.
not just horrible backgrounds, but possibly horrible futures.
Yeah,
into her fucking house.
It is, and Favreau here, Scott had some problems.
Yeah.
Had some problems here. Now we're going to talk about the year 2000 in a minute here, but talking about July 1999, he has a little issue where he's charged with felony grand larceny.
Jesus.
I'd call that a small issue.
I'd say big issue.
Something. It's a thing. You know,
he's got two terrible words in that charge. It's felony and grand.
And grand.
Those
Grand's
are bad.
a lot.
Right,
larceny's not good either. But when you add felony to it, it
grand
gives it a little
grand
kicker.
is very similar to aggravated. Like it ups the ante on something petty.
You put felony on it, it's like putting hot sauce on it.
Absolutely.
Though. You're spicing it up here.
It's got some stank on it.
He apparently stole a motorcycle.
Oh Jesus!
He steals a motorcycle, which seems like a dumb shit teenager thing to do. He steals a motorcycle. It's probably a dirt bike. He's riding around, ripping up the trails in Vermont somewhere. I don't know.
Something with a kickstart, because
that's what I mean.
He's 17.
No, he's not taking
time to hotwire.
He didn't take somebody's chopper. I don't think. I think so I think he took a Suzuki that takes the weird oil you have to mix with gas. You know what I mean? The gas you got to mix with.
Two-stroke dirt bike.
Two-stroke dirt bike or something. I feel like he took something like that.
But it smelled amazing running down the road. Yeah. That smell is incredible.
In September of '99, that's great. Jimmy's having dirt bike memories. Jimmy's having white trash flashbacks. He's like, yes. The smell of burning two-stroke engine. Oh, God.
I've got one in my garage.
Oh, I know you do.
Embarrassing?
No, not at all. Not embarrassing at all.
All right.
The fact that you like the smell of the two-stroke,
it's fucking
that's actually
incredible.
not embarrassing.
In
It actually
desert
does.
air, because it's all dry and that stuff's kind of thick.
Does have a neat
it's in the
smell
back
to
of
it.
your throat, and you can
Yeah,
almost
right.
taste it.
I'm not gonna ding you for that. That's fair. That's fair. So in September of '99, he pleads no contest to that. Okay. So he's just that's a good deal to get nothing to. Let's get this kid the hell out of the court.
Let's erase this and just go on our way.
Moving on, he's given a 3-year deferred sentence, which that's something though, because
that puts it on the books.
Means you do something else. You never know what's going to happen.
You're going to go back for 3 years.
It's possible. It could happen.
They're going to bring that 3 years into question for sure.
That's why they stuck that felony on there, so they had a little extra bargaining power.
And we're going to keep track of you for a while with felony on your record.
The other
That's
thing.
not good.
And 100 hours of community service.
Ouch.
So he's got to go, I don't know, extract the maple.
Or go bullshit somebody into just saying he was here for 100 hours.
Yeah, something. He's got to go sweep somewhere. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he's got to do 100 hours of community service.
Yeah. Or you go put on a comedy show for somebody that benefits them financially, and that washes your fucking... I've seen that happen, because comics are dickbags.
Yeah, comics are awful people that will do the
they will
absolute
find a way.
least imaginable.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We had somebody, quick sidebar here. We had somebody, I got a tweet or on Facebook, somebody said, you guys do, the research you do is a lot. Like, it's kind of daunting, blah, blah, blah. Like, why do you do that?
Yeah.
Why do you take it so far with stuff? Because they were talking about crime and sports and this too. And my answer is because we're supposed to be lazy. Right. That's why. Comics are lazy people. That's why they're comedians.
Exactly.
Like, it's hard to do that because you can't do it, to go on stage and tell jokes. But if you're good at it, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
It's super fucking easy, and it's actually kind of fun.
Right.
And so they do that, and that's the least they could possibly do in life to get by, is to go somewhere and tell jokes for a certain amount of time a night. So with podcasts, they'll do the same thing. Yeah. They will do the least imaginable to get by. And I figure if we just do not the least imaginable, we're going to stand out like crazy.
It's got to.
We're going to be superstars in that region. So, and it's worked so far. That we're not anything superstars, but we're people don't hate us, and we're trying our best. But we're trying not to be lazy. That's the answer.
There
here.
you go.
January of 2000, he has some more problems here. Okay. He's a troubled kid, and this could be predicted. Yeah. This is if you sat with this kid when he was 12, you'd probably go, well, he's probably going to steal some shit. He's going to do some things. He's going to have problems with the law.
There's going to be some dishonesty here and there.
There's going to be some issues through his teen years, we'll say.
Yeah.
He's charged in January with burglary, petty larceny, and unlawful trespass.
And this is now just 5 months later.
This is 5 months later.
Unbelievable.
Which seems like a tough thing because he has a 3-year deferred sentence for stealing shit.
Right.
So it's not even like it's a different crime. You can go, well, it's apples and oranges. This is exactly what he did before.
Idiot didn't learn his lesson.
Although this is kind of worse because that's just stealing a motorcycle. This is
burglary. This is in somebody's domicile.
Well, not somebody's, but he and several other guys, other kids his age, friends or whatever, stole some keys to the school, to the Adams School in St. Johnsbury. They stole some keys and they broke in. Kind of trashed the place a little bit, as kids do. A little bit of vandalization, but the main thing was they broke into the nurse's office and stole prescription medication.
What?
They stole a bunch of Ritalin and a bunch of other prescription medication because kids who have to take pills at school, they're kept in a locked thing in the nurse's station, and they knew that because I'm sure.
So he went after him.
I'm sure half these kids are on medication. They have problems too, especially him. He's probably on antipsychotic or something. So. They break in and they steal the drugs. So now we're talking about that's escalation from I'm stealing a motorcycle going away to I'm going to break into somewhere to specifically steal something I want. By the way, drugs too. It's not even like I need I really, really need a pasta maker, and I'm going to bust into that house and take it. Like I want to make some fettuccine tomorrow. That's not what happened.
I need one of those schoolyard paper shredders. That one with the big arm on it.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
and that's not what they take. They take drugs.
Right. Not the one that tells the direction. Yeah, I need a protractor. That's what I need. I need to draw a perfect circle, and I need to do it now. This is insane. No, they were probably on the back of a toilet bowl crushing this shit up and snorting it 15 minutes later.
Off the little boy's urinal in the bathroom.
Yeah. He pleads innocent to this. He pleads not guilty to this, and he's released on conditions is all I could ever get out of this.
Okay.
I don't know what those conditions are. Probably not to go back to that school and steal more drugs. That would be...
That's condition one.
That's the condition I would put on it, probably. And say, tell you what, buddy.
Yeah.
Number one thing...
Cough up the keys and stay the fuck out of there.
Number one thing you need to do here... Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about an amazing sponsor.
I love this one.
The Great Courses Plus. Like so many of you, we're always trying to explore new interests, feed our curiosity, listen to what you're listening to.
Try to learn more.
Try to learn about a town and learn about a murder. That's what we're doing. That's what you can do here. They have unlimited video access to some of the world's greatest professors. We're big fans of the Great Courses Plus. They have everything. You can learn about everything from physics to photography, psychology, history, science, cooking. You can watch the videos wherever you want from a TV like I do. You can do a laptop, a phone, a tablet, anything. And what they do, they have that cool thing where if you start on your phone, you can then pick it up on your tablet later on. It's so cool. It really is. Or you can stream the audio to listen along with the Great Courses Plus app. What you learn is amazing. I'm interested in information, obviously, as we're doing. Jimmie is too. We cannot recommend their course, Forensic History, Crimes, Frauds, and Scandals enough.
That one, and so Jack the Ripper is incredible too.
That's so cool. There's stuff, it's taught by a professor. It's not like a comedian or anything like that. So it's really great information.
They take it very serious.
You feel like you've learned something.
Yeah.
I felt like I was smarter when I was done with it. I really did. And I'm addicted to these great courses now. Like, for instance, I learned, did you know that you only need 5 to 10 skin cells to generate a DNA profile?
What?
Skin cells. I didn't know that. I just loved everything about it because they got into the technical aspects of the because you just hear like, oh, DNA match, and you don't know what that means. And this they told you what it means and made it so interesting, and it's just such a great thing to watch. If you have any interest in information whatsoever, if you enjoy learning, this is for you. But it's not good enough that we like the Great Courses Plus. We want you to experience the Great Courses Plus. So they're giving our listeners a full month to enjoy all of their lectures for free. But you need to go sign up through the special URL.
thegreatcoursesplus.com/STM.
That is the one. Start your free month today, and that free month gets you unlimited access to this. Start your free month today. Sign up now at thegreatcoursesplus.com/STM. That's thegreatcoursesplus.com/STM. You will not be sorry.
And now back to the show.
So he's living at the house with the Campbell beer, right. And young Tasha. Fuck you. Yeah, Tasha. You're getting Tasha, lady.
For sure, Tasha Campbell.
It's Tasha Campbell. It's Tasha Beer, actually.
Okay.
Tasha is Randy's daughter, not Vicky's.
Has nothing to do with Vicky.
None of these kids are Vicky's.
Okay.
Vicky has no children in this game.
Wow.
She's just, your daughter, great. Let's bring in another one. Fantastic.
Okay.
Some other kid, too. She's a nice person. Okay,
really, she's doing stuff she doesn't have to do.
No.
Legally, she doesn't have to do it.
God, no. And it's weird because there's no there's never any Tasha doesn't hate her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Tasha doesn't go to her father and say, "Why'd you marry her? I hate her."
Yeah.
There's no acrimony. There's no
good word.
Yeah, it is. Not
bad. A great one.
There's no issues.
Yeah.
So no issues that we know of.
I would have just gone with tension.
That works too.
Because I'm a lazy comic.
There you go. See?
There's no tension in the house. There's no turmoil. There's no problems. It's just she's a good person.
I'm just tired, and words I have stored in the back of my brain start falling out when I'm really tired when I haven't slept all night. So, yeah, there's no problems. Now, like we say, there's no problems that we know of.
Yeah.
I mean, who the hell knows what goes on inside a house, what goes on inside a marriage? But by all accounts of family, friends, there's never any domestic situations. The police aren't going to their house. Like, we've had a bunch of these where it's like,
constantly calls.
Yeah, nobody knew, no one knew what was going on inside, but they'd be like, oh, boy, the cops are there again. Like, there was constant issues, things
there's
like that.
Faxes going to the fucking police department.
Yeah, God, Jesus, faxes showing up. Whew, man.
Her tits are always out.
Always out. Go check out Epping, New Hampshire a few episodes ago.
But Vicky's not like that.
Vicky's not like that. She's just a nice person doing her thing. One morning in February, I mean, there's no hint of problems with everybody.
No
Randy's happy.
Okay.
Vicky's happy. The kids seem, I guess, reasonably happy. As happy as you can be when you're getting arrested every couple months. And as happy as you can be as a 14-year-old girl, which I don't think is possible.
No.
I don't think any 14-year-old girl has ever been happy.
No.
That's the
My
most.
daughter's 7.
Or
She's
14-year-old
already
boy.
angry.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like that for the rest of her life. I know.
Well, maybe. Who knows? So we'll see what happens later. But at least through the routine years.
Yeah.
And boys, too. God. They're just, the good thing is boys are stupid till they're
they are.
I don't know, 33. So You know what I mean? They don't even know.
They're just so dumb.
You can treat them so different.
Right.
It's great.
It's just, what can I put my dick in? That's all the boy thinks about for 33 years.
Well, yeah. Well, from the time they're 12 on. Before that, they're like, what can I jump on?
Right.
And what can I jump off of? And
right.
onto other shit. That's all they're thinking of. Where is the top rope that I can climb?
What can I jump on?
That's all it is.
What can I jump off of? That's brilliant.
Onto what?
Right.
Where is there? Is there a giant pillow I can use? What can I do to break my fall?
And then a few years later, can I put my dick in this pillow?
That's the thing. I was going to say. A few years later, I'm going to jump onto that pillow and then I'm going to put my dick in it. That's what I'm going to do. That's how we're working this thing.
I like it.
So one morning, February 16th, 2000, everything is normal. It's early morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, everybody's in the house, doing their things, getting ready to leave school and various issues. Vicki Campbell Beer is at the kitchen table grading papers for school that day.
Working overtime,
just sitting at the desk, or sitting at the kitchen table, happy as can be.
Has her morning coffee.
What is more nice than that? She's going to go to work so she can take care of the kids and do a great job and be a nice person. And everything is great. And for seemingly no reason, out of nowhere, Scott Favreau with a .22 rifle shoots her in the back of the head at the kitchen table. Out of nowhere.
This got crazy fast.
Very fast.
Wow.
Out of nowhere.
He just walks in with a rifle.
.22 rifle, one shot, back of the head.
Fuck.
Instantly dead. Immediately falls down, dead on the table. That's it. Now, Randy, the father, as you might imagine, would probably be upset about this. He's in the basement doing something. He hears the gunshot, runs up the stairs, but they lock him in the basement.
Okay.
He's locked in the basement.
Yeah.
So the basement door is locked. Scott ran over, locked the basement door. Yeah. It was locked from the outside, from the whatever to the outside of the house, so he couldn't get out. He's trapped in the damn basement.
He's just banging on doors.
He's banging on doors. So what Scott does, Scott grabs Vicky's red Isuzu Rodeo, her car,
killing it,
and grabs Tasha. Yeah. They hop in the car.
Oh, shit.
He's
got an accomplice. Or a kidnap.
Takes her, hop in the car, and speed away.
Okay.
He's locked in the basement. Eventually, Randy breaks through the door and gets out, or busts through the lock, or whatever he does. I assume if you're screaming for your wife and you heard a gunshot and people scatter, you probably can get through a door if you need to at that point.
And he's in the basement where likely all his fucking tools are.
I was going to say, he's got tools and he's got things down there.
He's probably got a gun down there.
He's got things to do. Yeah, if there's one gun in the house,
at minimum, he's got a shovel.
It's Vermont. I'm sure there's animals. You need to have a couple of rifles around the house.
He's got some sort of maple syrup extracting tools
he's
down
got
there.
that. You can pick locks with those. That's Vermont.
Some sort of hand drill.
Vermont. That's the thing about Vermont. You got to watch out because they'll break into your. Those are maple syrup extractors, boy. They'll pop a lock right off. It's famous for it. It's famous for it. Vermont lock.
If this was a cartoon, that's exactly what would be happening.
That is.
He'd be extracting all the locking mechanism out of that door with that thing.
You know it, man. So Randy busts out of the basement, obviously, and calls police and says, "My foster son, Scott, just shot my wife. Don't know why. Don't know what the hell's going on. But they're gone. They took my wife's red Isuzu, apparently, so you might want to look for that. Obviously. And in a small town, I don't know how many red Isuzu rodeos there are driving around.
I don't know.
Probably not a ton with a couple of teenagers in it. Detective Dante Anicelli, who's the investigating officer, he's the principal in this whole case.
There's a country song about a little red rodeo that's playing in my head right now.
Really? Are they talking about an Isuzu?
Yes.
Are they really?
Yeah. It's a Pat Green song.
Who the fuck wrote a song about an Isuzu rodeo? You know what? When you start writing songs about mediocre sport utility vehicles, that's enough. You know what I mean? That's enough.
Economy of sport utility vehicles.
You hit your ceiling on what you have to talk about. You have no more shit to talk about at that point. Stop already. Good
He
Lord.
wrote it for somebody else, though. I think it was Gary Allen that sang it. And
wait a second. That's worse, okay? If you sing your own stupid song about a fucking shitty, mediocre sport utility.
A shitty car song for somebody else.
This guy wrote it, gave it to someone else, and this guy went, well, yeah. Me too. I thought the same thing. It's amazing. Holy shit. Wow. I can sing. This is for me? Holy shit. Let me get out there on that stage. This is going to be a hit. I can see it now. Wow. I better call my agent. This is going to be big.
Me too.
Get the publicist involved. It's going to be mainstream. I'm going to be the next achy breaky heart over here with this shit.
That's a big song. I swear to God,
is it really?
Yeah.
I know nothing about country music whatsoever.
It's probably 10 years old or more. But it was a big song. It was all over radio.
How?
Some bitch still plays it at concerts.
So what happened to country music? Like, sidebar of sorry, Vicky Campbell beer, and you're dead on the kitchen table, and we apologize for that. This has nothing to do with you. What the fuck happened to country music?
Surprise! A girl left him in that car. Like that's the story.
But it has nothing to do with the car.
No, well,
write about the girl and how you feel about it.
She's in
fuck
that
the
car. That car means everything to him.
Oh Jesus Christ! What are you kidding me? No, it doesn't mean everything to him.
He's looking around for
his
that
priorities
fucking car like
are misplaced.
Are.
His priorities are misplaced. Let's just say that. Country music used to be about.
My favorite part about this whole thing is you go, wait. Me too.
Yeah, you too with the rodeo. Both of us? Really? How'd you know? How'd you know to bring this to me?
Oh, my God, that hurts so bad.
Did the guy bring it to like 50 other people first? And they were
I'm sure he did.
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not singing about a shitty car.
No, man, it's pickup trucks. Don't you know it's pickup trucks?
It's not even an American car.
But he finally runs it down to Gary Allen that goes, me too.
Wow. Just motioning eyes right here. We're right here. I see you, man. I see you. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God, that's so funny.
What the hell happened to country music? It used to be like about heartache and about this and that. Well, I don't know, like the 50s, 60s, 70s. And now
how sad would you be if you were dating a girl driving a rodeo?
I don't think I would consider the car. I really don't. I don't think that part would enter my mind. Not talking about when we spent time together or we did this. Her car, not even her car, her shitty economy SUV that you can't even fit 4 people in.
No.
Because it's too tiny.
It's 3 at best.
Oh, that's terrible. That is so bad.
Oh, God, I'm in so much pain. Fuck. I never thought about it like that before.
Man.
I used to dig that song. Sorry. So now that's in my head for the rest of the story.
All right, well, that's what's going on.
So they're looking for that car.
They're speeding through it. Dante Anicelli, the principal, he's the principal guy here, principal detective. Yeah. He is told from dispatch that Randy had called and said that not only are they looking for a suspect who probably shot a woman and is taking a car now, but also all this Dante Anicelli knows is that the shooter also has taken a child too. Okay. So they're they don't know. That could be a 5-year-old. They have no idea. So they're like, okay, now we really got to find this car.
And is this pre-Amber Alert?
This is 2000. So
I think
that is right on the cusp. I think it is
pre-Amber
too.
Alert.
I think it's just before.
So there's not just like a bulletin that goes out and they're like, all right, she's 14. They just know that it's a kid.
They just know that it's a kid. They're just told there's a child, and who knows through the grapevine. And also, I don't know what there's not really freeways to put like a sign on the overpass for an Amber
Alert. There's likely only one fucking freeway in this area.
Yeah. There's not a lot of freeways back east. They're toll roads.
Oh, is that what
east.
it is?
You pay tolls for that shit.
Fuck
that.
Yeah,
no freeways.
What a nightmare.
Freeways. Well, yeah, it sucks. And you have to. I would like to go
I
here.
saw you just think about that.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Right. No, it sucks. I'd like to go here. How much cash do I have?
Yeah.
And it's like, shit, I can't
Do I have enough to get home?
I can't afford to. That's the other
tank is
problem.
Full. My payment's paid. My insurance is up to date.
I'm stuck
I've got license plates on my car.
I can't cross that river.
I can't do it.
No.
I don't have 37 cents in my pocket.
If you're on the other side, we have gone back to pre-boats.
Yeah.
If you're on the other, we're on the Oregon Trail now. We're going, do I hire an Indian to help? What do I do? Try to float across? Is that what I do?
This is great.
My God. So shortly after he hears about this Dante Anicelli, he's the one, Detective Anicelli, who actually sees the vehicle. Okay. He sees 2 passengers in the car. Yeah. He follows the car gingerly and calls for backup because he doesn't want to chase these people by himself. Another officer at this point sees the vehicle. It's on South Main Street in St. Johnsbury, and they start chasing him.
Sure.
Okay. They start chasing the vehicle
at like 40 miles an hour.
Yeah. No, Favreau took off.
Did he?
He went around a police cruiser. They set up a police cruiser to block the on ramp to Interstate 91. There's the freeway.
You go.
And there's the Amber Alert right there. And he went around that and zipped up the I-91 and led them on a 30-mile chase.
Jesus.
So he took off, and they were chasing him too.
Wow.
This was kind of when they just went, well, we'll just watch them. This was like, we're not letting that OJ shit happen again. Catch that motherfucker. Right. So it was one of those. So eventually, 30 miles down the road here, state troopers, police set up a roadblock. A better one this time. You can't just drive around. Right. Nice roadblock, by the way. if your roadblock leaves enough space for a car to get around it, not even a car, in a Zuzu Rodeo, a country song fame, a car of country song fame, you're not doing a good job.
No.
He got yelled at for that.
I'm sure he did.
Who blocked the road? Jesus Christ, Johnson.
What the hell, Johnson?
Who taught you how to block a fucking road? God damn it.
It's 4 lanes, man.
Come on, man.
It's a tiny car. What do you want me to do? I got a Caprice. I got 2 lanes, sir.
I tried my best.
He went through the HOV lane.
So finally, in Bradford, the town of Bradford, there's state troopers from that barracks that set up the roadblock, and finally Scott pulls the SUV over. Doesn't crash or doesn't do anything crazy like that. He doesn't bust out and try to run through the woods or any crazy shit like that. In the car was Tasha Beer, 14. They obviously gathered them both up. The police said that once he pulled over, he obeyed all the orders by the troopers. He wasn't crazy after that, didn't try to take a swing at anybody or anything like that. There was approximately 20 cops at the roadblock.
Yeah.
So a 17-year-old kid sees 20 cops at a roadblock with at least 15 police vehicles with sirens and lights and
he
the
looks
whole
at
thing.
his rifle and goes 10 shots.
10 shots. Not to mention all the officers are lined up with their guns out, pointing at him as he drives up.
20 officers with 15 rounds apiece. Your 10 rounds of .22 caliber ain't doing shit.
It's a real Smokey and the Bandit situation, and there's no jump set up to go over everything, so he's not going to Duke Boy the action at all. That's not going to happen. So he's screwed. He pulls over. Obviously, the cops ordered them both out of the car and down to the ground because they don't know what's going on or the situation. He gets out of the car. Scott gets out of the car, but Tasha doesn't get out.
She doesn't budge.
She doesn't budge, and they tell her to get out again, and she still doesn't budge. Instead, she says, "Me? Why me?
You talking about me?
Yeah, we're going to get everybody out of the car. How's that? We'll do that.
No, he shot her, not me.
Yeah,
I'm going to stay right here.
I'm cool in here, right?
I'm going to drive this back home here in a minute. When you guys take him, I'll just...
she's sitting there like, he's just going to use the bathroom real quick, and then we're going to get back on the road.
Who, me?
He's just peeing in the woods. Me? Who? Me too.
Who, me?
Who, me? So, who? Me? What? Me?
What a dumb girl.
Why me, she says. And so they said, get the fuck out of the car and get down to the ground. So she does. She gets down on the ground. They handcuff both of them. She was... they had them both on the ground, patted them down for weapons. That only took a couple minutes, so they're not doing too much here. At that point, they place her in the custody of the Vermont Department of Social and Rehabilitation Services to see what's going on. Just since your mom's brains are on the table, and we don't know what's up at home. Yeah. Let's stick you over
maybe
here
stay
for a
over
minute.
here with these nice people.
Let's just stay there for a second.
Also, too, maybe they'll help pull some information out of your head.
Yeah, see what the hell's going on here. The police said at the time that, quote, she's not considered a suspect at this time. Okay. They said she was present at the scene. There could be charges brought. We don't know what's going on. That's up to the state attorney. So he said that she was not kidnapped, though. Okay. That is very important. The police official said she's not kidnapped. He said the investigation is continuing, and we don't know where that will lead us.
Okay.
So it's at this point, it's just this crazy mystery of what the fuck happened.
Why is she with him?
Why is she with him? Why did he shoot her? What is going on here?
Right.
Now, he does make a statement at the roadblock.
Okay.
At the roadblock, immediately upon being taken out of the car, before she's even out of the car, he says, quote, "It was all me. She had nothing to do with it."
Okay.
Right away, that's suspicious right there.
It's like,
to say. Why would you think that she would have something to do with it?
We didn't think that in the first place, fuckface. We thought you kidnapped her,
yeah,
by the way.
She's a child. We thought you kidnapped her. I don't know. You seem like kind of an asshole. You have a record, and you just shot a lady in the head.
She's not a felon, you are. We figure you're the one that shot her.
Kind of, yeah, no shit. She was not questioned when they took her on the ride back to the police station to go to social services, but she did volunteer a statement. She said, quote, "Who called? I bet it was my dad." It's like, well, no shit. Who the fuck else do you think? Who else do you think? The guy you locked in the basement when you shot it, when your foster brother shot his wife? Right. Yeah, maybe he called. What do you think? Who the hell else do you think would call at that? Good God, man.
Unbelievable.
I guess, you know what, though? It's funny because that is kind of, she's 14. So I'm saying this like, what an idiot. But she's 14. So that's stupid shit that a 14-year-old would say.
That's what they say.
Yeah, who called? I bet it was my dad.
I said stuff right on par with that when I was 14, too. Just dumb... just stupid shit that is all it does is lead to more questions.
That's it.
Every answer goes, now I have 3 more questions, you idiot. Why did you do that?
That's exactly it here. So they keep her. They still don't know what's going on. They put her in a room with a uniformed officer outside, and they go, all right, let's just stick her in there for now. Yeah. She's an idiot, and, well, whatever. We got to sort this shit out and go deal with this other moron here. Originally, the police officer in charge of the scene at the roadblock thought that she had been a hostage at the time when they said that was the original thing the police were saying is there's a suspect approaching, he just shot a woman, he's got a child hostage in the car. So you have your guns out and all that sort of thing here. Late that night, Caledonia County State Attorney Dale Gray announces that he will be charging Favreau as an adult. He's 17 with first-degree murder. So it's a juicy one.
Steep.
That's 17 for it's not stealing a dirt bike anymore. We're not doing that shit. Now Favreau, for her part, Scott Favreau here, the Lady Scott, for his statement, finally, because they know how to talk to people in homicide. That's kind of what they do. And you get a 17-year-old kid, you can probably manipulate him a little bit, as we've seen. Everybody's seen Making a Murderer and Brendan Dassey. You could have had Dassey admitted he shot JFK, and he would have been like, I shot him, and I don't know why. I just did it. And Stephen was there too.
He wasn't even alive when Dahmer did what he did.
No,
and
he would have admitted to it.
He would have admitted to eating all of those boys.
I like dicks in my fridge.
They are tasty.
They're tasty. So Favreau,
I like to put them on my fingers. I eat them like bugles. They're delicious.
Like bugles.
I bite the tips off of them.
Oh, like we did. That was so sad. We were actually eating bugles off our fingers when we went to South by Southwest. We were like, fuck it, let's be idiots. Let's eat bugles off our fingers like morons.
And Brendan Dassey would have admitted to eating penises that way.
That
Absolutely.
He would have. Yeah, he would have.
They're delicious.
They're delicious.
You dip them in ranch.
I can do a dumb Dassey
I
so
use them
well.
to stir my drinks. Put it on my finger and stir. It's good for iced tea and lemonade.
I pretend I'm Bill Cosby.
Let's find out.
Jesus.
Let's find out what Favreau's logic is in this whole scenario here. He says about the whole thing after they finally break him down. He says, "quote Well, she kept bugging me about killing her, about killing Vicky." He said, "I told her, yeah, I'd do it just to get her off my back."
What in the shit kind of statement is that?
Tasha, wanted her dead.
Okay.
Tasha wanted Vicky dead the whole time.
This is
Tasha's idea.
What the?
Tasha said, this guy here, he seems like a guy who could shoot
trouble.
my mom in the head. He's trouble. Hey, he looks like trouble.
Yeah.
See, she saw him on that dirt bike smoking a cigarette like the kid from Bad News Bears, and she was like...
smoking that oil out the fucking exhaust pipe.
He's going to do it, see?
That's my murderer. That's my guy.
I feel she talks like a 40s girl, like a 40s business.
Gotta kill my mom, see?
Yeah, kill my mom, see? Like a 40s working woman.
Flipping a quarter.
Listen, see? You're going to kill my mom.
This is great.
So apparently, she told him, she's not just told him, actually just constantly harped on him. It comes out for basically the whole time she's known him.
Yeah.
Please kill my mom or my stepmom. Please kill her. Please kill. We don't really know why. I guess just because she's a fucked up person that doesn't like having a new stepmother.
She passes him in the hall as he's going to brush his teeth. She's like, "Is she dead yet?
That's what it was. Like, apparently, it's to the point where he was just like, "Fine,
I'll do it.
I'll shoot her.
Leave me alone.
Where's the damn gun already?" Like, what? How much nagging do you have to do to somebody before they're like, "Fine, I'll shoot her in the head"?
You've been married. Wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take too long.
Yeah, that nice lady who took me in and who everyone loves and takes care of kids and is currently sitting at the table. I'm in the morning eating her special K with strawberries in it, grading school children's papers.
She puts for sure strawberries in there because they're good.
They're good
antioxidants,
for you.
right?
And not to mention, what about those kids? They never got those tests back.
No, they didn't.
Definitely not.
And now they're ruined.
No,
There's shit all over them.
That is much worse than a scratch and sniff sticker on there.
Oh, fuck.
That's
terrible,
not a
man. Gold star.
No, that is fucking awful
brains.
and horrible.
That's horrible.
Ah, man.
I almost said terrific. It
no,
is not
it's
terrific.
Not terrific.
It is horrific.
I feel bad for those kids at the school, too, not only for, her husband and everything, but, like if you're a beloved teacher like that, and I don't know, that would screw a kid up, I would think. If
the good one is that's not good at all.
Your teacher's like, I don't know, man. Your teacher when you're little, they're like kind of they're kind of like an
extension
surrogate,
of your parent.
Yeah, like a surrogate, like an aunt kind of thing. And like if that would just be weird. I would think as a kid, I never had that happen, but it's very strange.
And especially if you like them, like
it would be traumatic.
My
I think,
third grade teacher was fucking weird, and I wouldn't have even thought twice. Probably. Well, I would have been in third grade. I probably would have thought twice. And like, damn, she's dead. What?
I had a gym teacher in elementary school. Ended up getting kicked out of teaching for molesting kids. So
different.
He could have gotten killed.
That's a bit different.
He used to spank the kids.
What the shit?
He used to give birthday spankings.
No, birthday spankings.
I swear to Christ, and this is a fucking
happy
fact.
Birthday! What a lucky day.
Mine was in mid-June, and I never.
Summer fucking birthday.
But the kids, he'd go, "Come on up here," and the kids would go lie across his lap there, and he would give them the amount of spankings of their age, and then one for good luck.
You bet.
I swear,
and one for me
God,
to tug to later. What a dirtbag!
Happened.
Ugh.
It was horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then later on, it turned out it was a friend of mine in high school. It turned out it was his uncle.
Oh my God!
And he's like, "Yeah, my uncle's a scumbag," and he got,
Hey, remember that guy that you used to be around all the time? He's a scumbag.
And I went, "Wait a second, that's your uncle? He used to give birthday spankings." He's like, "Yeah, that's why he's not a teacher anymore." And I was like, "Holy shit!" And then that kid died of a heroin overdose.
Jesus,
and he did. So it's a very tragic family. Yeah, tragic family. A lot of people dying of heroin overdoses back home, but that's enough of that. So back in the community, people are devastated where she teaches the Linden Town School.
Sure.
Now, she taught 7th grade. I'm sorry. I thought it was 5th grade for some reason.
Even still, 7th grade is...
That's still, the kids are 12.
Yeah.
They're not
12
very
and
old.
13. Like, that's enough to you have actual... You've noticed things about her that are specific to her. You know what I mean? She stands out to these kids.
And she, they told the kids. They made an announcement during the day at school about it because she wasn't there, and it was spreading. The kids would have known when they got home from school, and it was so they actually allowed the kids who wanted to leave to leave. Kids that were kind of having a little meltdown there. They had a big. Vigil out there afterwards. Dozens of parents and students gathered at the school just to kind of talk about it with the kids, to kind of have like an open discussion, which honestly, that is some very... I can't. It's hard, but that's
such a serious discussion to have with a kid that age.
That's amazing, though, that they act. This is like a small town. Yeah. They're such a small. I mean, if this happened where you are or where I am, or my kids go to school, it'd be like, oh shit, that happened, and everybody go. But this is such a small town. The same day, they organize. Let's all get together and talk to the kids about it, and everybody goes. Like that's like what small towns are supposed to be, So that's good. There's support anyway. That's a good thing. The principal, Mary Ellen Royce, said, "Quote: The tragedy that occurred today is incomprehensible. It affects all of our community. We've lost today a mother, a foster mother, a wife, a teacher, and a friend." They all liked her. They had a big banner where the kids wrote things about her and did all that, and they had a picture. They kind of had their own little service at the school. And then they said the next day they weren't going to hold any classes. They were going to have the
day
closed
snow day.
But they would open it. They'd keep the school open for counselors to be there and have students and whatever if they want to come in and talk to counselors. A grief day, exactly. They brought in a state police death trauma specialist to talk to the kids and all that sort of thing. So this is the next day. Yeah. Like the response to this that's incredible. As a community is really amazing. Like this is a good little community, I have to say. But yeah, these people are obviously
it's terrible. They have to do that. It's
horrific.
I can't imagine.
We
just had a teacher here in Arizona die, and nobody's heard shit about it. I mean, you hear it covered on the news. Yeah, but nobody talks about how the school's doing.
No, that's the thing. And these people, because I mean, there's not a million schools, so I mean, it's a small town, and they were talking about. The poor Randy had to, they had a grief counselor for Randy Beer to leave the barracks. The whole thing is just a mess here. And now, too, he's got to deal with the fact that he doesn't know. Now he's being told that his daughter is the one that made this happen.
He just lost everything.
He just lost his whole life.
Everybody in his house is now gone.
Everybody that matters
one's
to him.
dead, the other two are going to jail, and it's just him in the house
It's him sitting there. Everything
and
was
he's
fine.
got to go sit in the house where she was just murdered.
And it's his daughter, which how much guilt would you feel about
Christ,
that?
I can't imagine.
I mean, it'd be horrible if her daughter did it to her, but if your daughter did it, you'd feel like, oh, fuck, Jesus. The superintendent said, quote, "It's a terrible blow to the school community. Other people, we've just lost a wonderful teacher and a tremendous person. She's a good friend." I mean, it goes on and on.
Yeah.
There's quotes till we could sit here for 3 days doing quotes about how great she was, and she helped me with this, and one time when I needed this, she was. It's ridiculous. This woman.
1,000 people in this town, and all 1,000.
They all know her.
1,700 was it?
1,700. They all think she's a saint.
They all have a story about her.
That she's a saint.
There's 1698, obviously, that have a great story about her. The other two are just assholes.
Absolutely.
Right.
So now they sit down. It's Detective Anicelli and Detective Sergeant Martin Hatch. They sit down to interview with Tasha and try to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
They intend it to be informal and conversational, is what they say, rather than like an interrogation type of deal. They just want to kind of see where she's at and if his statements might be kind of, they want to gauge her, is what they're doing here.
See what conflicts.
But they also think that it's not necessary to advise her of her Miranda rights or secure the presence of an attorney or an adult, because you can't just question 14-year-olds with no adults present or anything like that. So, but they say she's considered a material witness at this point, not a suspect.
Okay, I guess you can do that.
Yeah, but this is after he's made a statement saying that she has
nothing. Right.
At that point, they're suspicious.
He's already said
that's
she
a problem.
did it. Yeah, all right,
that's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, you can't. That's a really a gray area right there. And when you're dealing with a minor, it gets even grayer because now you're doing that, and she doesn't have an adult present, and blah 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 blah.
Let's get an adult. Let's get a lawyer, and let's Mirandize this girl. That's what we should be doing.
Yeah, they did a pre-interview at 10 a.m.
Okay.
This is 2 hours after this poor woman was shot in her own kitchen here. They did not tape record it for some reason on this one, which I don't like that
Bad
at all.
idea. Yeah.
Always tape record. They did take notes, which whatever. They took off her handcuffs. They gave her food and drink and asked her if she wanted to go to the bathroom. It's that scene in The Wire, when they have a suspect in and they really want to get to know him and they're trying to get him to flip on somebody else.
Sure.
They're like, "Hey, what do you want, pal? Can we get you some McDonald's?" It's that scene, Jimmy, that you would never see because you don't watch the show. But that's fine. So anyway, they do that with her. They let her go to the bathroom. They're not in uniform, but they did have, because they're detectives, but they did have their guns on them. So it's not like she thought they were, social workers or something.
Right.
She knew they were cops.
Also, too, they just put her into a back of a police car and took her to a police station
with handcuffs on.
Right. She should be very well aware,
I would say,
what the profession of these men are.
Yeah, and she's in a 10 by 15 foot room with a desk in it with a cop sitting on the other side.
Sounds
of
like
it.
an interrogation room.
That seems like an interrogation. All of this sounds like an interrogation, does it not?
Yeah,
to me, I mean, that's how they just talk to witnesses too, but still.
She's never seen 2020 or Dateline, apparently.
No, and the way they do it, she's a 14-year-old girl, so she's not savvy to this whole thing. One cop, Pierre Anicelli, sits across the desk 4 or 5 feet away, and then the other sergeant sits next to her 3 feet away. So he's on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, also, too, you feel the doors closed, you're boxed in. You're very trapped at that point, and for a kid, too, that would be... daunting, I would think. But they said she was calm and collected. No signs that she was unable to understand what was going on, because obviously she has no diminished intelligence or anything like that.
Yeah.
They told her that they thought she was a witness to Vicky's murder, and they needed her to provide information and, quote, clarify some events that happened. They said she seemed willing to talk. They told her that they just needed her because they wanted to get some information to, quote, piece together what had happened. That's all. So she's thinking she's getting away with it right now, too. She's like, shit, this is sweet.
We just need a timeline and you can go home.
This is sweet, which is exactly what they're trying to do, which would be fine with an adult, but even at that point, if you thought they're a suspect, as soon as a witness is even slightly a suspect, they have to be Mirandized.
Sure.
That's all there is to it. Like, even if do it just to be safe.
If you want this case, if you want your case to win, if you want her to go to jail or have any punishment for this, you better start thinking.
Problem is, if they're just talking to her as like this girl whose stepmom got shot and what happened, dear, it's a lot easier. Once you get let's get Miranda into this, then she needs a lawyer. She needs an adult present.
And she knows that she's a suspect.
She knows she's a suspect, and there's going to be a lawyer saying don't tell them anything, and you can't trick her, and it's a totally different thing. So what they're doing is trying to figure out what happened in a very gray area of legality here.
Okay.
They said that during the interview, she basically had an uninterrupted narrative. She told the whole thing. They asked follow-up questions. They asked if Scott had brought up killing Vicky before, and was this a planned thing? And he talked about all this. They also asked her, hey, how come your fingerprints are on the murder weapon?
Yeah, that's
an
weird.
issue. Yeah. That's a little strange here. Then after all this, they started recording at about 11 a.m. They actually started recording, and they basically did the whole thing again. Again, they offered her food and drink and let her use the restroom. It was like, let's do this all again. They did a little rehearsal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were like, let's do one for blocking. And then they did that. And they were like, okay, let's go live now. Let's shoot this puppy. Let's roll him. So they said she was upbeat. At about 4:00 p.m., Randy arrives at the barracks, the father. If you're ever afraid, if there's ever a time when you'd be afraid of your dad being pissed, you didn't scratch the car.
No.
You know what I mean? You didn't put a hole in the drywall.
No. You scratched Mom's brain all over the living room.
Shot his wife in the head at the kitchen table.
Right.
You didn't even do it outside.
No.
You ruined the fucking house on top of everything.
It's where we sit and talk about our fucking day together over a plate of green beans and chicken.
Talk about that day.
And that's where you left Mom forever.
So he arrives at 4. He tells the police that he does not want her at home.
No.
He says, don't bring her back to me, because he doesn't know what's going on
He told the
either.
cops not to bring her back.
He told her,
Hilarious.
he didn't want her to return home. So they got an emergency detention order, and saying that the child is in need of care and supervision, and that's, it goes to social services. She's turned over about 6:45 to social services that evening.
Yeah.
Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about Blue Apron.
BlueApron.com.
Blue Apron is delicious. Guys, it is amazing. Blue Apron. You have to get Blue Apron.
So good.
Let's say with the holidays coming up, let's say you have a little Thanksgiving thing, or they call it Friendsgiving, things like that. Do you know how to cook?
No.
Maybe not.
I'm
You don't want to
terrible.
be the guy who comes with nothing or comes with something pre-prepared from the store. If you bring a winning dish from Blue Apron, everyone will love it, and people are going to say, who made this?
Who did that?
You're going to say, I did.
Yes.
Right here, this guy.
Take the credit.
Blue Apron takes all the stress out of cooking. Thanksgiving, obviously, all these holidays, a stressful time for making meals. Not with Blue Apron.
Nope.
Finesse your cooking skills with Blue Apron and gain culinary confidence in the ramp up to America's favorite holiday, a food holiday. Enjoy showing off during your most important meal of the year, Thanksgiving 2017. You got this, and Blue Apron is here to help.
Absolutely.
Spend less time at the grocery store because they're going to be packed.
It's going to be awful.
Packed all winter long. You know that's going to happen. The holidays are about spending time with your family.
And watching the Lions lose.
That's right. Not being at a grocery store. So do that. Spend time with your family making home-cooked meals from Blue Apron. We love Blue Apron. You guys know that.
Yeah.
We get it every week. The big box, the meats, the vegetables. It's incredible. You can't go wrong with Blue Apron, guys. It is seriously the best. Check out this week's menu and get $30 off your first meal with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/small. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. That's blueapron.com/small. Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
And now back to the show.
The next day, what the state does is they move legally to have her held as a material witness.
Okay.
Family court issues what's called a flexible order for placement. It's at Woodside Juvenile Rehabilitation Center, and then they're going to go over that in a couple of days just to make sure that's okay. Mm-hmm. It's operated by social services. Mm-hmm. During the process of this court hearing, she stipulated that she's a material witness, is what they told her, and they agreed on conditions of her release. To come back to be a witness, basically, if she posted a $10,000 appearance bond, but if her dad doesn't even want her home, there's nobody to post any $10,000 appearance bonds, so nobody posts anything. She's stuck there. While in there, she had several. By the way, her narrative and things like that. A few of these things are not available because she was 14.
Okay,
there was tons of court proceedings about what can be public and what is closed and what is sealed and all of this shit, and some of it's open and some of it's sealed and some of it's it's
but
ridiculous.
Because she's a minor, they don't want all that stuff out.
No, she's 14, so you can't get everything on her, which is really frustrating when I want to hear everything out of her mouth.
I would say more annoying.
It's more annoying, yeah. So in 2001 here, the next year, she is still being held. By the way, they haven't tried him yet. She's still being held. She's in, juvie, basically, and they do an interview with her. There's a newspaper that does an interview, and she's complaining that there needs to be more long-term intensive therapy for kids who have long sentences. She said there's nothing for us right now, and basically it's just her complaining in this interview about how she needs more counseling, and they're not giving her any.
Somebody help me.
Which is, I guess, valid. I mean, she obviously has problems, but she's 14. I have a hard time with 4. That's really hard. Your brain isn't formed yet.
No.
But you're still an evil little fucker if you want to.
Yeah.
It's so hard to, you know what I mean? It's, God, the scale's there.
I'm right on board.
Shit, it's so difficult to talk about.
Fucker.
Yeah, it's like, are you an evil little fucker? Are you a kid? What is going on?
Can we help you? Is there any way that we can make you not be an evil little fucker, to be an evil old fucker? Are you going to be that?
Are you going to get there?
Because I don't want to put money in you if that's what you're going to become.
That's where we're going here. Now, August 2001, she files an appeal to get her out of being held. She's been in jail for a year, basically.
And she just wants out.
A year and a half. They finally grant her request on October 5th, 2001. But it's held over till the 30th, where they have another hearing. Oh my God, so many hearings. They had a permanency like a placement hearing was held in January 2002.
Where was she going to go?
That's what I mean. They're trying to find out. So she remained in juvie until finally on April 17th. She never gets out. They go from hearing to hearing of where she's going to go. They bounce her around from this facility to that facility. And finally, on April 17th, 2002, they just said, let's forget all this stuff. How about we're just going to charge her for first-degree murder,
shit.
and we'll keep her in jail with the jail people.
The good news is
and we can stop.
We found your permanent place.
Good.
The bad news, and oh boy, is this bad news.
It's not good. You're not going to like it. You're not going to like it.
Boy, oh boy, is this a permanent place.
Let me tell you now. It's a permanent placement.
We found you a shelter. It's amazing.
It's really good.
There's 3 meals a day. There's a bed.
Sounds nice, right?
It's very hard, that bed.
Nice. It's in Vermont.
You got your own toilet. Your very own.
You are not allowed to leave. That is one of the That's one of the things that's a sticking point that we...
Do you like nightlife?
It's tough to charge top dollar is what we're saying for what the facilities we're offering for that very reason. It's difficult. Now, right after she's indicted, her lawyers moved to suppress the statement she made to police on the day of the murder. They moved to dismiss the case against her on due process grounds that she didn't get a speedy trial, because they just charged her now, and they held her for a year and a half. But they said she was a material witness. This is all gray area. This is the grayest case. It's very difficult.
But how can you try to dismiss on grounds of not having a speedy trial? Bitch, you haven't had a speedy trial. You haven't had a trial at all yet, whether it be speedy or not. Yeah, you're just being held at the moment.
No, yeah.
But I mean, can you hold somebody? Isn't there like a law on how long you can hold somebody before you get the case together?
Yes, if they're charged, if they're a material witness, then it's like, we just need this witness, and it gets much more.
And the worst part is she has nowhere fucking else to go.
No,
just
nowhere
sit
at all.
Still.
Just relax.
Yeah,
relax. All right.
Just calm. Your dad doesn't even want you home.
Calm down.
Right.
Just chill out.
Right.
So
we're feeding you.
At the evidentiary hearing, though, the court actually grants her motion to suppress her statements.
Yeah.
They said they should be excluded because they were the product of an illegal de facto arrest.
Okay.
They find that she was in police custody from the moment that she was stopped in the car and handcuffed, and held in custody the whole day. No arrest warrant, no sufficient grounds or a probable cause to hold her for any suspected crime at the time.
Okay.
They held her anyway. It's like, if you wanted to hold her, you should have charged her, is what they're saying there. They also concluded that her statement should be suppressed because she'd been subjected to what they call custodial interrogation, which they're interrogating her without advising her of her rights, which that's true. They did not Mirandize her. They didn't get her an attorney or a parent or anybody, and they were clearly mining from her information about a murder that they thought she might have been involved in.
Right now, I hope some investigators getting chewed out a little bit worse than Johnson on the freeway, who forgot how to.
Jesus Christ, Johnson! Block the goddamn on ramp.
These two shitbags, whoever interrogated her, should be yelled at a lot harder.
Yeah, well, the court just says she was, quote, in custody, so she should have known. She wasn't allowed to leave,
right?
So she should have been Mirandized, basically, because that's one of the things they'll say. You're free to go at any time. She wasn't free to go at any time.
Yeah. By the way, that Miranda guy's whole life is so fucking fascinating. If you get a chance to read about it, fucking read about the guy who inspired these.
Miranda's a woman.
No, the guy. The guy that for the Miranda laws.
Yes.
That guy's life is fucking awesome.
Yeah, the guy for Arizona guy.
Yeah. He was such a scumbag, and he got off.
Miranda's a woman. I don't know why I thought. I'm talking about Miranda rights the whole time, and then I thought about. For some reason in my head,
You're connecting that to Vicky?
I connected it to Vicky. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Vicky's dead. She's a woman.
Right, she's a teacher. Yeah, her life's fascinating.
Wow. Okay, I need more sleep. That's what that says.
The Miranda guy's life is super fascinating.
Yes,
he got
actually.
off on a technicality. He gets out of prison. He went back a couple other times.
By
the time he got out, he got fucking stabbed to death in a bar in South Phoenix.
Jesus, perfect.
Because he cheated somebody gambling on cards or something.
Well, that's going to happen
it's
there.
Awesome.
Yeah, you'll get off from the government, but you cheat in cards and you're going to get stabbed in South Phoenix.
Street laws are a little more vicious.
Don't cheat in South Phoenix. That will get you stabbed. That is as true today as it was in the 1960s.
I think it was in the 70s when he got stabbed.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think the Miranda case was in the 60s.
Early 60s. I think it was 61 or 62. Doesn't matter. Anyway,
he only lived a few more years.
He only lived a few more sad years. So anyway, they're saying all that. She was not held for a short duration. It wasn't limited or routine. She was handcuffed. Yada yada yada. The whole deal. They concluded that the totality of circumstances indicated that a reasonable person in the defendant's position would not have believed she was free to go and would have believed that she was actually in custody and, quote, at the mercy of the police.
Okay.
Which, especially if they're 14, I would add, like I said, put an accelerator on that if they're 13. Now, 2002 comes around.
Yeah.
We have all of her issues. That's still going on. She's going to be fighting this back and forth. She's still in custody. She has nowhere to go. She doesn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
She's a minor with no parents or anything else. So even if she's released from custody, she's still going to be
going to a
in
government,
somewhere.
Government something.
So 2002, Scott Favreau pleads guilty to the murder charge and the death of Vicky Campbell Beer. Now, during the court proceedings here, the sentencing, forensic psychiatrist testified about, their mitigating factors, about the horrendous abuse of his childhood, physical, psychological, emotional, sexual damage. Doctors diagnosed him as having post-traumatic stress disorder, all that sort of thing. They said he was suffering from depression and also said that he possibly might have fetal alcohol syndrome. Which is all possible. Favreau here, he really makes a case that he's he deserves the
poster
sympathy
child
here
for just not his fault.
Yeah, exactly. He says, quote, "I felt alone. I was surrounded by family and friends, but I still felt alone. I didn't know how to ask for help. Things snowballed until they got out of control. I was just a dumbass teenager."
You still are.
Still are.
Yeah.
First of all, stealing the motorcycle, that's a dumbass teenager thing to do.
Yeah.
I'll even give you breaking into the school to steal Ritalin. It's a little more aggressive, but still dumb shit teenager thing to do. Shooting your foster mother in the back of the head while she fucking grades school children's papers.
Because a 14-year-old told you to do
because
it.
a 14-year-old told you to.
That's not stupid teenager shit.
Yeah, no, you are just not
an idiot.
I don't know if you're a bad person or an idiot, but we don't need you around right now. Let's
not.
Put you aside for a minute here. I don't know how much that helped him because he is sentenced to 17 years to life in prison, which seems...
He's got the chance of parole.
He's got the definite chance of parole here. His plea agreement actually requires him to testify against Tasha.
Oh, shit.
Okay, that's as part of the agreement.
Yeah.
But when it comes up, he refuses. He refuses to testify.
So what does that do in terms of legality? What does that do?
It screws the whole thing up and causes shitloads of hearings and needed to look over tons of legal...
We needed you asshole.
So much legal minutia, it makes me want to cry.
He had the chance to make things right.
They asked him why he didn't testify. He said, quote, "I don't want to address the reasons I didn't testify. I don't want to comment on that."
Okay.
I don't know. But
comment on anything?
Yeah, he's nothing. He won't comment, won't tell you, just doesn't want to go. She has some kind of hold on him, or I don't understand what the deal is. Why? I don't even know how they would have contact with each other.
He owes her something for some reason.
Right? What did she do for him? Like, who did she save from a burning building for him or something here? He's complaining. He says, being in jail, quote, just teaches you to be an inmate. Yeah, that's jail. He's, quote,
where else are you going to learn, sir?
Quote, "There's not a lot of responsibility in here. You can sleep all day. You can do nothing at all, and that's what a lot of us do." Well, yeah, because it's prison.
Good.
Here. He says, he's trying to have a society in there, and, but it's kind of hard because
sleep
it's prison
all day. Doesn't
here.
that sound great, James?
Oh, it sounds. I would love to sleep at all here. He is mending ties with his biological mother, who I'm sure is a real winner.
Yeah.
Who was with a guy who would molest kids and probably gave him fetal alcohol syndrome and everything else. So his parents are just both winners here. They talk on the phone all the time. He says that she's always talking about her financial struggles and her search for a better job. And he says he's all depressed because he can't help out. Yeah. It's like, you don't even know this person.
Yeah. Why are you so depressed?
But Vermont and Maine, the two whitest states, by the way, also, as I've said before, allow people in prison to vote. They're the only states that allow...
They take a felon's vote?
They're taking a felon's vote. So he voted in the 2006 election. Yeah. He's voting in the midterms, which young people usually don't vote in the midterms, and prisoners never vote in the midterms. So
they got him out.
Interesting.
They brought him out.
Yeah, he says that it made him feel like he can make a difference in something, and blah, blah, blah. So first of all, no. And second of all, you're in prison. So
the other thing is, I can't believe they're doing that. Why do they do that? That's not fair. That's not right.
He said he I don't really.
What does
care.
How we live? How does that fucking? You're in a fucking cage, asshole. Your vote doesn't matter.
If a CEO of a company who makes if he fucks over everybody, still gets a $400 million golden parachute, is allowed to fucking vote. I'd rather have him than that fucking asshole, because at least we're probably
he's going to vote against that.
Yeah, at least we're probably more lined up in economic interest than the billionaire. So maybe not. I don't know though. He says it helped him have a sense of community, talking about politics with the other prisoners and all that, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about his sense of community,
I don't know if I want those people talking about politics with each other.
That's the other thing. It's going to cause stabbings.
Yeah, right. People on the outside that don't have filed down toothbrushes. Yeah.
And who have anger issues and are in a prison for shit.
Right. Somebody's going to get a vein open.
Jesus. So January 2005, Tasha is convicted for her role in the killing. Yeah. She makes a plea agreement. She pleads guilty to manslaughter and second-degree unlawful restraint for locking the dad in the basement there.
Why'd you stab that guy? Did you hear his policy on schools?
Jesus
Fuck you.
Christ. I had to. So, did you hear where he stood on tax reform? This isn't right.
Unbelievable.
Good God.
Inconceivable.
He's against sanctions on Iran. He's against the sanctions, man. What the fuck?
How could he?
How are we supposed? No, I can't take no. So she is sentenced to 10 to 15 years to serve on the manslaughter charge, but with all but 10 of them suspended, and 1 to 5 years on the unlawful restraint charge, consecutive with the manslaughter. So they'll all be in there. So basically, she's got 1 to 5 years. What she just got out of that. During the sentencing hearing, Vicky's brother Alan got to talk.
The uncle.
The uncle. He said that he was okay with the deal, but then he said he felt like he got burned because it ends up that Favreau could be released from prison after only 10 years. Yeah. So he's like, this isn't right here.
This is ridiculous.
So, it's terrible. They're mad at the prosecutor, basically. They felt like they were tricked.
The system fucked them.
He said they, quote, got burned by them, is what he said. So I don't blame him. Speaking of getting burned, 2006, guess what happens?
Whoa.
Tasha's released from jail. They place her on probation. Place her on probation, and she is out of jail. She's living in Las Vegas.
Okay.
They let her move out of state for some reason. Unreal. By 2013, she's been living in Las Vegas. She files a motion to try to get her her parole canceled, basically by the state, so she can not be
do whatever she wants.
That is denied. But Scott's still in there. That's good. So April 2013, Scott is released from prison.
Oh my God!
So we're 13 years later. Both of these two are out. August 2013, Tasha has another hearing talking about being in Vegas. She says that she's a changed person. She works to support her 2 children, and she's just a good person. The judge, though, says she's not quite satisfied with Tasha's progress, and her basically doesn't know what she's up to, but she's saying she's fine now. And they're like, I don't know, you still killed your stepmom. So she keeps filing these, and her father, Randy, said he wouldn't fight her request. He says, quote, I wish her to continue to be a productive citizen and progress in her life for her sake and for the sake of my grandchildren. I also believe at some point that I must let time begin to heal wounds. This doesn't mean that I have forgotten the circumstances that took a precious loved one away from me and all who loved her. So he's just like, I just can't fight it anymore.
Fuck it. Let her do whatever she's going to do. She's got his grandchildren, which are her children, obviously.
Yeah.
And she's got to influence their lives. Hopefully, he's just hoping
he's
to
like,
Christ
let's not make more.
Right.
Yeah, let's not make more. Let's try to at least take care of these kids.
And let's not fuck those kids up.
Yeah, absolutely. So she, April of 2014, she files another motion to try to get, she's trying to get out of the probation. This time they actually made her come back to Vermont for a minute.
Oh, that's great.
For it. But then the next hearing, she's back in Vegas again.
Okay.
But she says she's going to stay with her sister there while she does that. Now, May 5th of 2014, Scott's been out about a year. There's like kind of a fluff piece on him in the paper.
What?
He says he's good now. He's just, I'm a good dude now.
What?
He said he lives in Brattleboro. He works at a restaurant.
Fuck is Brattleboro? Is that
that's
up
a
there in
town
Vermont?
up there. Yeah, it's a town.
Wow, he's staying in the state.
Says he works at a restaurant. Recently moved in with his girlfriend and a 7-year-old son. If you can't find anybody, holy shit,
Jesus,
man. This guy can find somebody.
He's got a girlfriend that already had a kid. It was somebody else.
7-year-old,
and he's living with her. And
he's living with her.
She thinks he's trustworthy enough to be around a child.
He said, "Quote: What I did was horrible, but I'm not that person anymore.
Okay,
I've done a lot of things to change that. I made a mistake. I'll move forward and do the best I can."
Jesus.
That's all he can do, man.
I mean, he paid his debt to society.
Talks about his girlfriend. He said, quote, she and her son, they keep me wanting to better myself. He has grown up without a father and has taken a liking to me. Yeah. He wants me to adopt him and call me dad. I grew up without a father. Looking back, I can see some of the issues I may have had, may have been due to the lack of a male figure in my life.
Okay.
There's a lot of that shit.
Until she cheats on you, and then you go fucking nuts.
Yeah. His probation officer said, quote, it's up to him to continue to take responsibility and really attempt to make amends for his actions now that he is in the community. So,
how terrified would you be to cheat on somebody that did that? Like,
oh, God. You have no idea what the hell they're capable of.
Being in a relationship with somebody that's actually murdered somebody.
That's crazy.
He's fucking psychotic.
The parole officer says in that year he hasn't committed any parole violations. He hasn't done anything. She said that the parole officer said he's already extensively began to address his responsibilities while he was in the facility. It's up to him to continue to take responsibility and really attempt to make amends for his actions. Okay. So he's trying hard, is what she's saying here. He's on a furlough technically here, and they can take him off the furlough in his next date in front of the parole board, which is April 2015.
Sure.
He says he's had no contact with the Campbell Beer families, which I would fucking hope not, except for a letter he wrote them of apology. He said, I apologize for taking this person away from them and putting them through what they went through. What I did was wrong. Whether they accept that is out of my control, but I want them to understand that I know what I did and I know how it affected them.
Well, yeah. You sat in a fucking prison for 13 years thinking about it.
And in prison, too. He went between a bunch of them. He was in Kentucky, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Virginia, Vermont. They moved him all around.
Traveled more than a service member.
He really did, all around, and that was, in 12 years or something. He just keeps saying how much he would like to be a productive member of the community. He says it over and over again. If you're willing to change and work on yourself, people are willing to help you. He has got, every quote is like he read it off a motivational poster. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like he's been just packed full of like these like self-help things and then pushed out into the world and goes, here, regurgitate that shit.
And every time he's turned down for a job, he's staring at that fucking poster that says like inspiration behind the fucking boss, and he memorizes that bullshit.
It's like,
that'll be great in the next interview.
Well, in prison, he developed his artistic skill.
Yeah.
And he's an artist now.
Of course.
He works primarily in charcoal and graphite. He says that's why he wanted to live in Brattleboro, because it's an arts community. He says, quote, Brattleboro is definitely unique. So many people have opened their arms and given to me. Wow. He said that his victim and his victim's family have motivated him to be a better person. I did it in honor of my victim and her family. I promised to be a better person. I don't think that's the wording he was supposed to be saying there. I was looking for. Wow. That's fucking amazing, is it not?
I did it in honor of her.
In honor of her, damn it.
Dahmer never said any shit like that.
No, he said I wanted to keep them alive and play with their dicks. At least he was honest about that shit. You know
That's
what I mean?
not remorse, man.
No.
I did it in honor of her.
No.
What a stupid thing to say.
Now, October 13th, 2014.
Yeah.
So he's honoring his victim, Jimmy. Barton, his probation officer, receives a call saying that Scott, quote, walked off the job in the middle of his shift and just took off. They don't know where he is. His girlfriend told authorities that, quote, he packed a backpack, took his money, and vacated their shared residence. That's what they said. He left behind his cell phone and his charger.
It was either that or murder everybody.
Or that or he just took off. He couldn't take it anymore. Left his cell phone so he couldn't be tracked.
Right.
Also here, he sent a text message to his mother beforehand. It said, quote, asked her not to travel from her home to Brattleboro to visit him because it wasn't a good time as he and his girlfriend were arguing.
Okay.
Or I'm leaving and taking off and running from the police.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
So that's October 13th. October 15th, he's captured.
Of course.
He doesn't get very far here. They never do on these. He's captured.
He took a backpack and a peanut butter sandwich. You're
That's
not
it.
going
Yeah,
far.
he took one of those sticks with
Right.
a handkerchief on. He's like a bindle.
Yeah. Bindle,
Just walking
that's the
around like
word.
a
I said
hobo.
trundle.
Just put a trundle.
I don't even know what the fuck
I don't
that
think that's
is.
a word.
I don't
he just
think
put a can of beans in there and he walked away. Wow.
Vandicamps.
Yeah, in his backpack here, he made a phone call to his girlfriend, and that's how they got him.
Okay.
That's how they found him.
Yeah.
They found him walking along the road.
He doesn't even have a car.
He doesn't even know.
He's
He's
just
just walking
walking
along the road. In his stuff that he had.
Historically, they've gotten away.
Yeah. No
What a
shit.
dipshit.
He's in Massachusetts, and in his on his release, his furlough agreement, it says, quote, I will not leave the state of Vermont without written permission of my assigned probation officer or designee. I will not travel outside of Windham County unless permitted by my supervising officer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, and he's also on a curfew. He's 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew.
That's not good.
So he
He's
shouldn't be
broken
out
it.
there.
No,
He's
in trouble.
definitely broken it. So he pleads not guilty to the felony escape charge after that. There's a $50,000 bail. So, I mean, he was out. Now he's back in. How fucking stupid is
That's
he?
an easy way for a lawyer to fight it, though. Just by saying exactly what I said. You can't possibly think that he was
going to run away.
He's on his fucking
He
feet.
just didn't want to talk to his girlfriend for a night
He
or
was
something.
I'm sure he got confused, didn't realize he crossed the state line. That's all it is.
Yeah, but its problem is when you're on probation or parole and you have to work, you can't just leave in the middle of your shift and run out of state. Both of those things
I'm
are
sure a lawyer will do his damnedest.
Oh, they're going to try.
Yeah,
they're going to try. The state attorney, though, he's saying that quote, the defendant was serving a 17-year to life sentence following a second-degree murder conviction, and his furlough, I don't think it has been formally revoked yet, but it will be subject to ongoing proceedings. Well, no shit. I guess so here. The defense attorney said that they're not going to challenge the $50,000 bail request, quote, for obvious reasons, maybe because obviously you can't say he's not going to go anywhere because he just tried to. He says that the judge here urges Favreau and his lawyer to complete an application, and he says he was imposing the $50,000 bail without prejudice. He says, quote, if that becomes the only reason you're in jail, then your attorney can file a motion to reconsider the bail. Well, Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, obviously he wants to now. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about something special.
Yeah.
A live show.
Live.
Crime in Sports and Small Town Murder.
You bet.
Coming December 14th to Chicago, Illinois.
Yes.
It's going to be at Lincoln Hall. You can get your tickets right now, today. Don't wait.
Right now.
Go to lh-st.com. And look for us on there. Find it. Also, there will be a link to the tickets in the show description.
There you go.
It is amazing. Come out. We're going to have a good time. We're going to meet everybody that wants to meet us and hang out with us. We're going to have, just like this, a good show. We're going to have some fun visuals. It's going to be a hilarious night. 2 shows, Crime and Sports early show, Small Town Murder late show. We can't wait to see you there, guys.
Let's party.
Let's do it. June 27th, 2017.
Yeah.
This is recently. A judge, Caledonia Superior Court Judge Elizabeth Mann throws out his second-degree murder conviction.
What?
Throws it out.
Okay.
Throws it out. Said that trial judge Dennis Pearson failed to ask Favreau at his change of plea hearing whether he admitted to the facts underlying in his guilty plea.
Oh, my God.
So he never said, they have to say whether they did or not. Never did that. Favreau said he was manipulated by his lawyers and that his confession was coerced.
Oh, boy.
So they vacate the sentence. The judge says, quote, the Vermont Supreme Court has clearly established that the trial court must specifically inquire into the factual basis of the plea and must secure for the defendant an acknowledgement of the same in open court before a guilty plea can be accepted. Wow. So, yes, he is he'll have to go out. He'll have to either go back to trial or they can try to work out another deal with him now.
Okay.
That's how this shit works. August 9th, 2017, he's recharged.
Oh, boy.
They recharge him again. They charge him with first-degree murder again. So now he's charged twice with this first-degree murder. This is so weird and gray and strange and odd legal shit this is. He's held without bail at this point.
Yeah.
It's great. Recharged with it. His public defender is only there, he said, for arraignment on this one. He's like, I have no fucking idea what's going on.
I'm just here to get him started, and I'm getting the fuck out of here.
He says he just had an evidence hearing request. It should be delayed until the state assigns somebody else because he says, quote, whoever's assigned can take the next step.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't want any part of this shit.
I'm out of this.
This is a quick little hearing. His mother was there.
Really?
Scott's mother was there.
Yeah.
She's back in the picture. She said she hoped things would be different for him this time. She said, quote, I hope things turn out the way they should have. They should have turned out, and all are involved are charged this time, not just Scott, because he wasn't the only one that was involved. Tasha, they kept telling him that she served jail time, but she didn't. She was in Woodside for a year. That's not jail, and I think she should have got more time.
Well,
Be concerned with why your kid was in the foster care in the first place.
Be concerned with what you did wrong, honey.
Yeah, you and the father were shit parents. That's why. She says, quote, he served his time. When he gets out this time, he needs more help to deal because, like I said, he was a child when he went in. They let him out and helped him for a couple months and then just threw him to the wolves.
Okay.
Like people are when they're in the world. You're thrown to the wolves, Jimmy.
It's like training.
That's Jesus.
In any job you have. They train you for
Exactly.
2 weeks and throw you to the wolves. Here's the other thing, though. He did 13 years. That's
a good amount of time.
Is that time served if he gets...
That's the thing. Everything in this is the grayest case. That's why I did it. I was like, this is the craziest, weirdest case
for that
here.
time? Or
I don't know how
fuck?
shit that works here. Well, let's find out this here. The mother also says his lawyer never asked him what happened. She's just defending him. He served his time. He needs more help, blah, 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 blah. She's doing her whole deal. In August of 2017, they're awaiting the weight of evidence hearing. His defense attorney files a motion to delay the hearing, like we said. Favreau is saying where he wants to live. He's supposed to live with a guy named Larry Rudd at 2748 Hale Road in Waterford. If released, he would be confined to the home except for court and legal house arrest.
Right.
Court and legal things here. Now, the family, obviously, the family and friends of Vicky Campbell Beer are just
devastated.
They're devastated by this whole thing. A reporter asked one of her friends here, over 17 years later, what are your thoughts on the status of justice? She said, quote, I don't think justice has been served in this case for either one of them. They asked Randy Beer about this, and he says, quote, well, we just killed her again. We've killed her 17 going on 18 times. We want this process to go through all the way to the end to put some closure on this situation. Because for these people, it's like, keep ripping the fucking Band-Aid off.
What a fucking vicious thing to say.
They're out. Hearings, not hearings. Are they holding him? They're not holding him. He's released. He's doing artwork. He's working at a restaurant. Now he disappeared. Now he's back. They're recharging him.
Killed her going on 18 times.
He's like, I just want over this shit, man.
Can we stop killing my wife?
Yeah, and she said, the reporter asked Randy, does this bother you every time this happens, all these memories? He said, every single time.
What kind of fucking question is that?
And her sister said, quote, and as hard as today was the hardest to have to listen to some of the testimonies, and they have to just hear it over again, man.
God, Jesus.
Now, August 18th, 2017, Tasha has another hearing for all this shit.
Okay. She's still trying to get out of the parole.
They're blaming the fact that she had some issues. She was living with somebody who was on probation or parole or something, which was against her release.
Good God.
But she's saying that it's the court's fault, and the court's agreeing with her. saying that the judge says, quote, the court intended to have these events scheduled more frequently, but they didn't get calendared, thus they didn't happen, and here we are. Saying they didn't keep track of her. There was no oversight. That's our bad.
Our goof. Our whoops-a-daisy.
Yeah.
The paperwork got missed. I'm sorry.
So Tasha says she's doing great. Her kids are excelling in school. She's doing perfect. She says, quote, I feel like I have a blessed life out here. My children are doing amazing. In spite of her. I have a great husband, and I continue to do what I needed to do on my end, and I just feel like at this point it's something I'd like to put behind me if possible.
You would.
I bet you would. Yeah. I bet there's a lot of people who'd like to put this shit behind them here.
You know who else would? Your dad would love that.
Yes, but the judge actually did not allow that at this point. She has a job in Vegas, and she's touting her church membership, and they said,
for fuck's sake.
I don't know. The judge said, quote, my observation from this report is you are doing as would be the goal for a probation sentence. That is where the probationer is living a law-abiding life, productive in the world and society. But she still says, not going to let you off yet.
Right.
As a matter of fact.
Keep doing that. Keep doing you, boo-boo. Keep going. You're almost there.
Now, October 2017, this month, Scott Favreau was in court trying to get home detention again. The Randy Beer says, I don't think this would have been appropriate in this situation, which, I guess so. The Gina Campbell, her sister, Vicky's sister, said, quote, there's been so many missteps by the court system that causes us to be back here again. Vicky got a life sentence, and that's certainly what I'd like to see Scott get.
Yeah,
I would say so.
Well
and
said.
Randy finally said, the legal system, we feel like it failed us. Yeah. What we want to see is completion. Go all the way with it to the end. If a trial is what's necessary, then we'll withstand that to finally put an end to it, no matter what the result.
I'm so immature. I just heard that all in like the most sexual of terms. Like, I just want completion. I want to go all the way and then just
go all the way
finish on his face. Let's just go.
Meanwhile, this poor man is just sitting here sobbing over his dead wife. His next hearing is on Friday, November 3rd at 11:45 a.m. at the 1126 Main Street in St. Johnsbury, Vermont.
Okay.
So Scott, though, he has a profile on something called freelanced.com.
What?
Showcases his artwork.
Asshole.
He's an artist and animal illustrator, is what he says. His About Me.
Can you comment on that?
Yes, you can. You can give him reviews. You can give him reviews and everything.
Oh, this is great.
He says, in About Me, quote, I'm new to the field and hoping for, because I was in prison for 17 years and looking for an opportunity to get my feet wet. I'm well-organized, hardworking, I'm a well-organized, hardworking portrait and animal portrait artist, but can create anything. I'm good at taking what the customer wants and bringing it to life. He actually said he's good at bringing things to life.
No, you're not. You're really good at killing
people. The opposite.
People.
I meet or exceed deadlines, and I am professional not only with my work but with customers as well. His rate is $25 an hour.
Jesus.
He says he has rated his skills here out of 5 stars. His portrait art is 5 stars. His animal illustrations only 4 stars.
Okay.
Work on those horses,
He's
big
a bullshitter. Sometimes it's hard to get that hair just right on the face of a dog. You know what I mean? It's a little tough. Go to that website and fucking negative review everything he has.
Well, I'd be honest, I don't know. Do what you want. Or ignore this guy and let him recede into obscurity. Either way.
I just want comments on his artwork. Like hilarious ones. If you're going to write, make it clever and funny, not just like...
Murderer. Don't just say that.
Fucking murderer.
We do not condone any harassment of any free citizens, by the way. That's not our thing.
That's a good point.
But that is not what we're saying. But if you want to go take a look at the artwork, that's up to you. I don't know what to tell you.
Clever feedback.
Hey, maybe you'll tell him you like his horses. I have no idea.
Tell him clouds are fluffy.
Exactly. So with that, though, hearings are going on. Okay. In November, there's going to be hearings for her coming up. She's still trying to get off probation.
Yeah.
I am assuming... Something tells me, I don't know what it is, but in the next couple of years, they're both going to be free and clear, I feel like. But that's a crazy story in Burke, Vermont. A little different because we've had last week, you don't get any more complete than a firing squad. Yeah. And so this week, I thought I'd kind of have a muddled one that wasn't so clear and gray.
Jesus.
And kind of, look at how the legal system has its threads showing a lot of times.
Yeah.
So, but that's that there. If you like that story or if you liked our telling of that horrible, tragic story, please go to iTunes. You can give us 5 stars there.
Yeah.
Just tell us you're doing whatever you like to listen to podcasts.
You enjoy
or you
Red
enjoy
Isuzu rodeos.
There you go. You enjoy terrible country music songs. You can go right there and do that. If you want to be a wonderful person like these producers we're going to talk about in just one second, you can go to patreon.com/crimeinsports and make a donation there. Or you can go to PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com.
That's the one.
And make a one-time donation there. We appreciate every cent, I swear and promise.
Yeah.
If you'd like to get a hold of us on social media, you can do so at Murder Small on Twitter or Small Town Pod on Facebook or crimeinsports@gmail.com, like we said.
Yeah.
And we have a long list right now of just some of the greatest goddamn people on the face of the earth. Jimmy, hit us with it, please.
Our listeners have been fucking amazing this week, and I can't thank you guys even. We say that, and I'm not even kidding. I don't know how to thank you guys, and I'm doing my goddamn best by reading 3 pages of unbelievable people every week, but I really appreciate all of you, starting from big homie Dana Grayson. The guy doesn't stop being amazing.
He was tweeting at clubs and everything else for us.
Sending cash. The guy's fucking great. So thank you, Dana. You're a good dude.
A top-notch listener.
Truly. Lisa White, Cody Cargile or Cargili, whatever. Ann Menhier, Mary Edwards, Emily Irvin, Haley. Fucking really, when I wrote these, I was like, these are so easy. I got this. And
good this week.
And then I wrote this, and I didn't, whatever. Haley Misseldine. It's got to be. Every week I say it's got to be,
and then you say 4 different things.
Amy Pohanic, Andrew Wiegand, Sherry Holland, Jess Landgren, and Christiane Cristaldi.
Thank you guys.
The 2 of them are unbelievable people.
Thank you.
Love you both. Thank you very much. Louisa Sodergren. I think I got that.
Oh, that's not bad. That sounded right.
Well, there's a V in Louisa, but I think it's Louisa.
Yeah, right.
Louisa. It's either Louisa Sodergren or Louisa Sodergren. Either way, thank you.
I think you got the Sodergren part right.
I think I handled that one. And that sounds very Slavic. There's those 2 dots are in the fucking name too. Over a letter somewhere. It's bananas. Yeah. Charles Glass, Rachel Flaherty, Chris Ascaraga.
Yeah.
Michael Wanop. Kasten Johnson, Patrick Cunningham, Aaron Tanner. Again, the guy, Aaron Tanner's fantastic too. I see his name constantly pop up in different forms, whether it be donations or whatever. But thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you. Jared Hohe or Hoey, Holly Gaston. That's it.
There you go.
Noah Wooten. Mariiki. That's a first name. Mariiki.
Okay.
Marique or Mariiki Bergman. Carolyn Baldonado.
Last name was a lot. Wow, that's a good one.
What? How did I do that?
Not
Carolyn Baldonado. Terry Staudinger, Rob McDowell, Kat Ojala. She's got dots over a letter too. And there's an art. There's an art.
She's like, I'm going to donate just to hear how bad my names get screwed up. So thank you.
Kat Ojala. It's wrong, but that's what you get.
Yeah, that's what you're getting.
Ashley Raditz, Jessica Gore. Ashley also is on Snapchat, and she's fantastic. Jessica Gore, Renea Wilson. Renea? I think so. Yeah.
Renee?
It may be Renee.
Yeah, a lot of times that's asshole. Renee with the...
Probably.
Yeah.
Chris Gierke. I think that's right.
All right.
Lane Jupe or Jupp. So he wrote on Facebook to us, and I tried to write back Lane, but it corrected it to Ian. So even on Facebook, I ruined the guy's fucking name.
Nice.
On accident.
Perfect.
Greg Nelly, Ryan Cantwell, Jennifer McIntosh, Jonathan Hoole, Brittany Reeves, Megan Megan Almagro or whatever. I'm an asshole.
Megan, I'm an asshole.
Right. Jedediah Suntheimer. I don't know. Ashley Shell, Ingrid Stokes. She's the one that sent what we thought was North Korea bucks. It's actually
I saw it's Norwegian. Because we're morons.
North Korea bucks sounds much better. Monica Johnson, David Yachu, Adrian Nebla, Kat. I'm such a dick. Katie McGill, Sam Stevens Jr., Leah Egan. She is a sister of a listener, and they told me to say something, and I forgot what I was supposed to say. I think I'm supposed to say, Leah, you may fuck off. Maybe her sister may fuck off. One of you may fuck off.
May fuck off.
Gabriella Rubuccio. She's the one that works over at ESPN, I believe, and sent us a bunch of ESPN stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriella. Kimberly Ross, Lisa Saputis. Brian Johnson, Wesley Swims, Stacy Van Antwerp Reisenbeck. I think that's right.
That's not bad.
It's probably wrong. Diana Ruiz, Michael Bartholomew, Eliza Gramling, Heather Yarber, Rachel Krause, Melissa Silsby, Mary Zellers, Brock Timmons, Michelle Miller, A. Kiefer. I don't know what that is. It can't be A. Kiefer. That can't be a first name, can it? I'm not sure. Carrie Giglo or Gigli. I don't know. I saw a movie once that was Gigli, right?
Yes,
that was the title.
Terrible
I didn't
movie
see
with
it.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Terrible
I refused
piece of
to
shit.
say I saw that. Anyway, Carrie Giglio or Giglio.
We will take it.
Adam Eppinger, the city of Quebec.
That was great.
Donated
Thanks,
money.
Quebec.
That's fascinating.
Thanks, you French bastards. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Let's Talk Pods also donated.
Oh, cool.
Thank you. So go check out that podcast.
Yeah,
Let's Talk Pods. Lisa Jacobson, Alexia Gordon, Diane Flynn, Laurent Foos, Ben Larson, and then Lisa Harbin. I'm not sure if I got you last week. I wanted to make sure I got you this week. You guys, I cannot understate how appreciative we are of these things. And that list of unbelievable people, producers, we like to call you.
Yes, you
thank
guys
you
are
all
amazing.
So much for participating. Thank you for listening, first of all. And thank you for giving us shit enough to help us get through this and help us put some food on the table.
Yes,
thank you guys so much.
Can't thank you enough,
If
honestly.
you want to involve yourself with me, you can find me at Whisman Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. WHISMAN Sucks on all three of those. So follow along, play along. Thank you all so much. It's been an amazing week.
Yes, thank you guys. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm at Jimmy P is funny, or try to be a hero. Go ahead and try to spell my last name.
I dare you.
There's an I in there. Try to find it.
Best
Good
of
luck.
luck.
Enjoy. But do that. Get a hold of us on there, and keep coming back week after week after week. Also, too, look out for those live shows that we told you about. And come see us in Chicago.
That's
Damn
it.
Do that.
Chicago, get your tickets because they're going fast.
They're going fast. Yeah, you want to get those.
Yeah.
That is going to sell out. So
It
if you're
will.
planning on I'll get them the week of,
Don't
you're
you do
probably
that.
not going to get them the week of.
Right.
I'll be honest with you.
You're going to be
we're only there
standing
one
out
night.
in the snow.
They're
Where I don't want you to be.
2 shows, 500 tickets each.
That's
so
it.
they're going to go, guys. So
Fast.
get on that. But thank you, guys. We can't wait to see you next time. And until next week, guys, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus